The day the city fell, the crown prince seized me and made me take my legitimate elder sister's place as a hostage to threaten the rebel army. She was the apple of the crown prince's eye, while I was merely a concubine-born younger sister who bore a resemblance to her. The tip of the crown prince's sword hovered at my throat as he shouted to the rebels, "Lu Zhao, surrender yourself, and I will spare your wife." In the next instant, a feathered arrow sliced through the air and struck straight into my heart. As I fell from the city wall, I heard Lu Zhao let out a cold sneer. "Do you think I cannot tell my own wife apart?" Truly, my legitimate elder sister was the radiance of the sun, the cherished treasure in everyone's heart. But why should I die in her place? If I could live another life, I would never let myself be trampled upon. When I opened my eyes again, I saw my unmarried legitimate elder sister resting her chin in her hands and asking me, "Who do you think I should choose, the crown prince or Lu Zhao?" When the crown prince tied me to the city wall, snow began to drift down from the sky. Since becoming the crown prince's secondary consort, this was the first time he had spoken to me in a soft tone. "Zhahua is frail. You will take her place to put on a show." I wanted to laugh upon hearing this. I was strung up on the city wall in my elder sister's stead, rough hemp rope rubbing my wrists raw, exposed and humiliated for all to see. And he actually thought this was just a show. The snow fell heavier and heavier, and I felt my eyelashes begin to freeze over. My cough, which had lingered for half a month without healing, flared up violently at that moment. I held back the coppery stench rising in my throat and the overwhelming disgust in my heart, turning my head away. As if stung by my gaze, he flew into a rage and roared, "Do not resent this. This is the retribution you deserve. If you had not resorted to tricks to force me to take you as my consort, Zhaohua would never have married this traitor Lu Zhao." The army below the city wall drew closer gradually. The crown prince gritted his teeth and casually stuffed a blood-stained cloth into my mouth. He adjusted his crown in a flustered, defeated manner, his eyes filled with ferocity. "If the city falls, you will die with me for the sake of the capital." Beneath the wall, the leading general in silver armor reined in his horse at the front of the formation. The crown prince shouted fiercely but feebly, "Lu Zhao, surrender yourself, and I will spare your wife." Lu Zhao lifted his eyes and let out a light, casual laugh. "Do you think I cannot tell my own wife apart?" No sooner had he spoken than he waved his hand and gave the order, "The tyrant is excessive. The crown prince is fatuous. Today I fight for the people. Attack the city." The sound of killing erupted like boiling water poured over hot oil, surging in an instant. The crown prince fled in a panic under the protection of his attendants, and no one paid any mind to me, the fake Lady Zhaohua. I stretched my toes as hard as I could, trying to break free from the ropes. I wanted to live. Even if there was only a slim chance, I wanted to live. Almost there, the ropes were about to snap. But in the next moment, a feathered arrow shot from nowhere struck my chest straight on. The searing pain made me fall straight off the city wall in an instant. Lu Zhao below the wall looked up by chance as he waved his spear, and our eyes met through the vast snow. The ropes snapped, and I plummeted straight down, landing as lightly and silently as a snowflake. I thought I saw Lu Zhao's face turn frantic, roaring as he lunged toward me. Had he mistaken me for someone else? Truly, my legitimate elder sister was the apple of the crown prince's eye, and the wife Lu Zhao held in the palm of his hand. But what about me? Why should I die in her place? The last scene before my eyes was Lu Zhao's bloodshot eyes. I coughed up blood and slowly closed my eyes. If I could live another life, I would never be a lamb to the slaughter. For all that happened today, I will repay every slight tenfold. I do not know how much time passed. The crushing pain gradually faded away, and my body felt light as a feather. I felt someone gently shaking my shoulder, and a voice drawing closer. A young girl's voice spoke, petulant and dissatisfied. "Ming Yue, are you even listening to me?" I opened my eyes in a daze. My legitimate elder sister wore the hairstyle of an unmarried young lady, looking at me with her chin resting in her hands. She smiled charmingly, like a flower perfectly nurtured by others. Who do you think I should choose, the Crown Prince or Lu Zhao? The fatal wound still throbbed faintly, but what met my eyes was the familiar backyard of the Ming residence, coupled with Ming Jiao's words. I suppressed the raging storm in my heart. Had heaven truly taken pity and granted my wish to live again? I realized in an instant that this must be 1 month before I entered the Eastern Palace. In my previous life, Ming Zhaohua and I attended the Qianghua banquet 3 days later. A young maid I did not know led me to a side chamber. And there was the Crown Prince, drugged. Before I could leave, I was caught red-handed by other noble ladies. The Crown Prince Yu Chu was forced to take me as his consort, yet he hated me for using vicious tricks to separate him from Ming Zhaohua. That year I spent in the Eastern Palace was a living hell. Ming Zhaohua pressed me for an answer several more times. I suddenly pulled myself back to my senses, lowered my head, and replied timidly, I do not understand such matters. Now that I had a second chance, I could not dwell on the past, nor would I repeat the same mistakes. Pretending not to see the flash of contempt in Ming Zhaohua's eyes, I whispered, "Those two are of noble status, not people like me can gossip about." These two noble men were both suitors at Ming Zhaohua's feet, filling her with pride. She looked at me pityingly. "You are of age too. Once my marriage is settled, I will have mother find you a good husband." I dug my fingernails into my palm, looked up and smiled obediently, saying nothing. Ming Zhaohua could never be that kind. She merely toyed with me like a cat or a dog, tossing a bone when she was in a good mood to watch me grovel. She flicked her sleeve and left, leaving me alone in the backyard pavilion. Wisteria climbed the flower wall, and the late summer breeze carried a faint fragrance. I looked down at my hands. 10 slender fingers, fair and soft, dyed with nail polish to look pretty, completely different from the fingers that had been broken and grown crooked in my previous life. The first few months in the Eastern Palace were unbearable, especially the days right after Ming Zhaohua married Lu Zhao. Yu Chu would torture me with all manner of strange methods when he was in a bad mood. Making me stand holding a vase bestowed by the emperor, making me keep watch through the night, and whipping me if I dozed off, breaking my fingers for accidentally brushing his sleeve. Fortunately, Lu Zhao later raised an army, and Yu Chu was overwhelmed, having no mind to bother with me anymore. I finally got the chance to investigate what had happened at the Qianghua banquet. I discovered that the mastermind had intended to frame Ming Zhaohua, but Ming Zhaohua had learned of it in advance and pushed me out to take the fall. I smiled faintly, curling my fingers. This time, whoever was meant to suffer the harm, fall into the trap, and lose their life would face it all. On the day of the Qianghua banquet, just as I remembered, Ming Zhaohua was called aside by the main wife of the Ming residence for a quiet word before we left. Her expression was dark when she came out, and she secretly glanced at me back and forth. Pretending not to notice, I reminded her, "Elder sister, won't you wear the purple jade hairpin the Crown Prince gave you? It suits your dress today better." Ming Zhaohua thought for a moment, and indeed told her maid to fetch the purple jade hairpin and put it on. The Qianghua banquet was originally an annual feast held after the imperial examinations, but in recent years Emperor Xing had grown increasingly extravagant, turning it into a display of royal excess. Once we arrived at the banquet, among all the glittering gemstone hair ornaments, Ming Zhaohua's purple jade hairpin stood out uniquely. Beside the noble ladies fawning over Ming Zhaohua, a young woman in pink watched her with resentment. I glanced at her a few times, and the pink-clad woman noticed me, asking, "Who are you?" "Miss Du, I am the second young lady of the Ming family. My name is Ming Yue. Ming Zhaohua is my elder sister." I gestured toward Ming Zhaohua, and continued in an envious tone. "That hairpin, I hear it was personally carved by the Crown Prince as a gift for my elder sister." Du Yaohu's expression twisted further, her hands twisting her handkerchief tightly as she stared daggers at Ming Zhaohua. I smiled silently. Of course, I knew how to stoke Du Yaohu's jealousy. In my previous life, after the incident between me and Yu Chu, Du Yaohui, as the prospective crown princess, had used every means to make trouble for me. But now, I only needed to say one word, and her anger would be directed at someone else. I watched the pride on Ming Jiahua's face almost spill over, and sneered inwardly. No one should reap all the benefits while setting another person up as a target, and bearing no risk themselves. Elder sister, there is no such justice in the world. In my previous life, the place where the crown prince and I were caught was Songfeng Courtyard. Before the maid led me there, I heard that Ming Jiahua had just left not long ago. I needed to do nothing but lead Du Yaohui to witness that scene a little earlier than I remembered. Half an hour, no, a quarter of an hour sooner. Halfway through the banquet, I saw Ming Jiahua frown and follow a young maid away from the table. It was time. I raised my hand to summon a maid serving the banquet, stood not far from Du Yaohui, and asked in a voice loud enough for her to hear, "Have you seen where my elder sister has gone?" The maid replied respectfully. "A servant boy named Lanting from the men's table called for Miss Ming just now, and she went to Songfeng Courtyard." From the corner of my eye, I saw Du Yaohui's expression change instantly. I smiled silently to myself. It was worth the jade bracelet I had given the maid in advance, and Du Yaohui indeed knew Lanting was the crown prince's personal servant. Sure enough, moments later, Du Yaohui gathered the ladies around her, claiming she wanted to admire the rare hairpin Ming Jiahua had brought that day, and led a group of people towards Songfeng Courtyard. I lingered at the back of the crowd, a few steps behind, my heart tight as I watched the turning point of my fate from my previous life. As soon as we stepped into the courtyard, we heard lewd, muffled moans coming from the room. Du Yaohui's eyes burned with even more resentment. She rushed to the door and pushed it open with a loud bang. The loosely closed door flew open. Ming Zhao's clothes were half off, her shoulder exposed. Startled by the slam, she screamed and hid in the man's embrace. A gasp rose from the crowd behind me. The noble ladies covered their eyes and tried to turn away, but I would not let anyone miss this show. I cleared my throat and shouted in feigned shock and anger. "What shameless rogue is this? My elder sister is Ming Jiahua, the legitimate eldest daughter of the Minister of Rights. How dare you humiliate her like this?" I enunciated every word of Ming Jiahua clearly, my tone filled with righteous indignation, leaving no room for fault. Yu Chu's face was flushed unnaturally. Interrupting his moment, he looked up in a fury and roared, "Get out." I sneered inwardly and exclaimed in shock, "His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. How could the brute humiliating this lady be you?" Murmurs broke out among the crowd behind me. I smiled and lowered my eyes. After this, how could you still pretend to be upright and shift all the blame onto the innocent? The matter was not over yet. Du Yaohui, who had pushed the door open, was completely enraged by Yu Chu's shout of, "Get out." She shrieked accusingly, "Ming Jiahua, you little slut! How dare you seduce the crown prince during the Qianghua banquet?" Yu Chu only then saw the crowd outside the door, and his flushed face turned pale in an instant. Du Yaohui rushed forward, grabbed Ming Jiahua by the hair, dragged her outside, and slapped her several times in quick succession. Ming Jiahua screamed in pain and pleaded pitifully to Yu Chu. "Your Royal Highness, save me." Du Yaohui flew into a rage, paying no heed to Yu Chu's attempts to block her. In a few moments, she scratched bloodstains on Ming Jiahua's face. "Slut. Do you know His Majesty will soon issue an edict to betroth me to the Crown Prince?" Enough. Yu Chu had also been scratched twice in the chaos, and a bucket of cold water had been poured over his head. He could not afford to lose the Du family marriage. His several adult younger brothers were all eyeing the Du family's military power covetously. Yu Chu endured the wounds on his arm and softened his voice. "Yaohui, this is a misunderstanding. Miss Ming and I have nothing between us." Ming Jiahua looked up in disbelief, never expecting Yu Chu to say such a thing. Her hair was messy, her teeth gritted, and the venom in her eyes was enough to devour Du Yaohui alive. Yu Chu roughly shook off Ming Jiahua's hand clinging to his arm. Ming Jiahua was flung by the force, hitting the corner of a table and groaning in pain. The color of Ming Jiahua's lipstick still stained his lips, but his expression was stern and proper. "Miss Ming, please conduct yourself with dignity." I stood at the back of the crowd, watching Yu Chu's expression and demeanor, identical to my previous life, and felt a surge of nausea in my heart. A man without shame is no different from a beast. The host of the banquet hurried over and dispersed the surrounding crowd. I threaded through the crowd and met Yu Chu's gaze. His expression was ugly, even flustered, but he froze for a moment when he saw me. Yu Chu looked at me coldly. "That was you shouting just now, wasn't it? Who are you?" Ming Zhaohua was taken away to change clothes, and I no longer bothered to pretend to be a timid younger sister. I looked at him and smiled faintly. "I am Ming Yue, Ming Zhaohua's concubine-born younger sister. The secondary consort you killed in my previous life, the vengeful ghost come for you in this life." Ming Zhaohua had suffered a great humiliation at the Changhua banquet. She could no longer keep up her image of a pure, noble lady and hurriedly called for her servants to return to the residence. As I left the Changhua banquet, I vaguely felt someone watching me from behind. When I turned around, I only caught a glimpse of a black silk corner. After returning to the residence, Ming Zhaohua cried hysterically. Her father, who had intended to scold her, only pointed at her angrily, unwilling to punish her further. Instead, the legitimate wife beside her calmly had someone help Ming Zhaohua up and soothed her father's anger with a few words. Zheng Yanran spoke gently. "Master, do not be angry. The crown prince was in the wrong in this matter. He owes us an explanation." Her gaze fell on me, and she casually changed the subject. It was not a big deal, but Ming Yue's outburst made all the noble ladies in the capital laugh at us. Ming Yue is no longer young. She ought to learn to be more steady. Go back and read more scriptures and histories to cultivate your temperament. And do not go out for the time being. She was venting her anger on me, trying to put me under house arrest. But this suited me perfectly. Right now, all eyes in the capital were on the Ming and Du families. Before Ming Zhaohua married, I needed to keep a low profile. I bowed obediently and accepted the house arrest order to return to my courtyard. Once we reached the small courtyard, Xiao Di could not help but whisper in my defense. It was clearly eldest miss who acted improperly. "Why punish miss?" I looked at her, my heart warm and comforted. This lively, lovely Xiao Dai had suffered endless humiliation in the Eastern Palace for me in my previous life. In the end, she was beaten to death by Yu Chu and thrown out for begging for a bowl of medicine for my sick self. "It's fine." I reached out and patted her head. "How did the thing I asked you to do at Huiyun Tower go?" Xiao Dai smiled, a small dimple appearing at the corner of her mouth. "Miss is truly brilliant. How did you know the patterns would become popular in the capital?" The shopkeeper was unwilling to take them at first, but now that they're all the rage, he gave me all the remaining money and even begged me politely to sell him more next time. "I followed your orders, miss. Half the money was exchanged for gold, and the other half for banknotes. Here they are." I took the heavy pouch, my heart set at ease. Before the war began, I would definitely take my aunt and leave the Ming residence. For the next while, I copied books at home, glad to be left undisturbed. Every 5 days, Xiao Dai delivered a new batch of patterns to the shopkeeper at Huiyun Tower, and the money in my hands piled up more and more. I do not know how the crown prince appeased the Du family, but just like in my previous life, Du Yaohui was still betrothed to him. Ming Zhaohua threw a fit at home to no avail. In the end, the crown prince promised to welcome Ming Zhaohua into the Eastern Palace as a secondary consort after his grand wedding with Du Yaohui. On the day the matter was settled, Lu Zhao came to the Ming residence. I was reading in my room when my aunt suddenly knocked on the door, overjoyed. "Zhao Zhao!" She called my childhood nickname, her eyes crinkling with laughter. "General Lu is here." Now that eldest miss is entering the Eastern Palace, the childhood engagement between the Lu and Ming families might just fall to you. Aunt. I set down my brush, my mood sour. Someone of General Lu's status. How could I ever be worthy of him? Weariness crossed my features. Besides, how would Madame ever allow me to have such a good marriage? My aunt refused to back down, poking my forehead with her finger. "You silly, stubborn girl. Your elder sister climbed up to the crown prince with her tricks. When he ascends the throne, she'll be a consort at the very least." Her expression was identical to the one she had when she learned I would enter the Eastern Palace in my previous life. Back then, I had been terrified, crying that I did not want to be a concubine, but my aunt had beamed and said I had done well. Zhao Zhao, you must seize this opportunity. Her lips moved, merging with the memory in my mind. Hurry and put on the new clothes made the day before yesterday. Go to the garden and try your luck. She had been oppressed by Madame her whole life, so she was desperate for me to marry into a powerful family. She had told me more than once, better to be a noble's concubine than a poor man's wife. My aunt continued to impart her wisdom. If you meet young General Lu, tell him you have admired him for a long time, that you will follow him even without a title. Napardist. No man can resist that. Zhao Zhao, listen to mother. I could not bear it any longer and interrupted her. Mother, is the only use I have in your eyes to marry a powerful man, even as a concubine? Isn't that all a woman is good for? She burst into tears at once. It's all mother's fault. You were born to me, so your status is lowly from the start. Do you remember when you were little and fell ill? Mother couldn't even beg for a physician. We might as well have died together back then, rather than be trampled to death later. My aunt cried bitterly, making my heart ache. How could I forget? When I was a child, I fell critically ill. Because Madame deliberately ignored us, my aunt knelt in the main courtyard for an hour before Madame relented and sent for a physician. My heart softened suddenly. I sighed and agreed. It was just a walk outside. It would put her mind at ease. Perhaps it was fate that we should meet. I had just stepped out when I ran into Lu Zhao, alone. This was the first time I had seen him in this life. He wore a pale white casual robe, standing tall and straight beside a double-petaled green Buddha head flower, his eyes slightly lowered as he admired it. Hearing my footsteps, he lifted his gaze to look at me. In an instant, I was reminded of the gaze we had shared across the vast snow on the city tower in my previous life. It was not as cold and fierce as it had been then, stained with blood, but it was equally indifferent, sending a shiver down my spine. In the end, my death in my previous life had nothing to do with Lu Zhao. We were unrelated, so naturally he would not abandon the siege for me. Moreover, the sight of him lunging toward me with bloodshot eyes before I died, I was not even sure if it had just been a hallucination. Or perhaps, as I fell from the tower, he had mistaken me for Ming Yue at a glance. I pushed the thoughts from my mind, forced a smile at Lu Zhao, lowered my head, and tried to leave. No matter what, it was best to stay far away from this dangerous man. But before I could walk far, Lu Zhao called out to me first. Second Miss Ming, please wait. I stopped, turned back and bowed, but did not take a step closer. What can I do for General Lu? Your family's maid led me here, then suddenly claimed a stomachache and told me to wait here. A trace of annoyance crossed his features. I wonder if Second Miss Ming could have someone show me to the front hall to see Master Ming. I nodded helplessly. Very well, General Lu, this way please. Stop. A breathless female voice came from behind. I turned around and saw Ming Yue dressed exquisitely, her hair piled high with jewels that sparkled brilliantly in the sun. She stepped forward to block Lu Zhao and me, shot me a fierce glare, then gracefully curtsied to Lu Zhao, her eyes filled with tender affection. Young Master Lu. Lu Zhao nodded slightly. Eldest Miss Ming. Why don't you call me Zhao? Her eyes reddened. Brother Lu, do you hate me for marrying another? But Lu Zhao's expression did not change. Eldest Miss Ming jokes. We were never officially betrothed. It was merely a casual remark from our elders. There is no need to take it to heart. Somehow, I saw a hint of annoyance beneath Lu Zhao's calm expression, as if he thought Ming Yau's actions were foolish. Had he and Ming Yue only fallen in love after marriage in my previous life? I stood quietly to the side, watching Ming Yue and Lu Zhao put on a show of unrequited love like a farce. I never expected the fire to burn me next. Lu Zhao looked at me. Besides, it was never decided which young lady it would be. Ming Yue only then realized I was still there. Her face changed instantly, and she cut Lu Zhao off. Young Master Lu, are you not here to see father? How did my maid lead you here? I will punish her when we return. Young Master Lu, this way please, do not keep father waiting. Ming Zhaohua shot me a look, signaling for me to leave quietly. I raised an eyebrow, pretending not to understand her gaze at all, and asked innocently, "Elder sister, is there sand in your eyes? Why are you blinking so much?" The corner of Lu Zhao's mouth twitched upward slightly, then vanished at once. I pretended not to see it, smiling at Ming Zhaohua. If she could not stand having me around, then I would definitely insert myself into the situation. Lu Zhao had come to call off the engagement. He picked up his teacup, took a small sip, and set it down. He pulled a jade pendant from his bosom and placed it on the tea table. "Master Ming, I am the younger generation. I should not have come myself, but my father is far away in Kushan and cannot return to the capital, so I had to come in person." Along with the jade pendant, he placed a gift list on the table. He continued, "This engagement shall be called off. When the young lady marries in the future, I, as an elder brother, will send a gift to celebrate." Ming Pei tried to salvage the situation. "Yang Guang, the Ming family still has." Zheng Yanran cut him off directly. "All right, the young ladies are still here. It is not proper to discuss marriage in front of the children." Her chiding remark put an end to Ming Pei's idea of marrying me to Lu Zhao instead. I lowered my eyes and said nothing, finding it amusing. The Lu family supported the seventh prince. Now that Ming Zhaohua was entering the Eastern Palace, Ming Pei still wanted to marry me off to Lu Zhao. He wanted to hedge his bets. How greedy. At that moment, I spoke slowly. "Mother, elder sister will soon enter the Eastern Palace. Her maids must be properly taught." Zheng Yanran froze for a moment. Ignoring her, I continued. "When General Lu arrived at the residence earlier, he was led by elder sister's maid. Somehow, she led him to the backyard. Fortunately, elder sister found General Lu in time. It is fine at home, but if she is so careless in the palace, she will surely bring trouble to elder sister." By the time I finished speaking, Ming Zhaohua's eyes were practically shooting daggers at me. Lu Zhao nodded in agreement. That is indeed what happened. I had only meant to subtly complain, letting Lu Zhao know what Ming Zhaohua was up to and stay away from the Ming family. I never expected him to go along with my words so smoothly, acting as my pawn. His dark eyes fell on me, a faint glimmer of amusement flashing through them. Ming Pei's face darkened. He looked at Ming Zhaohua and snapped, "Discipline your servants properly. If they cause real trouble, do not drag the family down with you." Ming Pei's words scolded the servants, but in truth, he was rebuking Ming Zhaohua. Ming Zhaohua and Zheng Yanran's expressions turned extremely ugly. He wanted to form an alliance with the Lu family, but Ming Zhaohua being entangled with Lu Zhao after promising herself to the crown prince would create enmity, not alliance. Ming Zhaohua dug her fingernails into her palm, tears glistening in her eyes as she apologized. "Yes, my daughter understands." With the engagement called off, Lu Zhao rose to take his leave. Ming Pei had not entirely given up on the idea of switching brides. He directly ordered me to see Lu Zhao out. Ming Zhaohua tried to stand up and say something, but Zheng Yanran held her down. The mistress of the Ming residence smiled gently and kindly. Then Ming Yue, see the guest out. Do not be rude. I had long been a thorn in the side of mother and daughter anyway. I did not bother saying anything more, stood up, and followed Lu Zhao out of the main hall. I walked quickly with my head down. Lu Zhao kept up easily, but as we neared the residence gate, my aunt's voice suddenly came from behind. She called out to me in a loud voice, "Zhao Zhao, who is this beside you?" "Zhao Zhao?" Lu Zhao stopped and raised an eyebrow slightly. I stood helplessly. "It is my childhood nickname." Aunt was presumptuous. I hope General Lu will forgive her. My aunt hurried over to us and joked at once. "Oh my, looking at you two from afar. You make such a perfect pair." "Aunt," I interrupted her coldly. "Do not speak nonsense in front of General Lu." I stole a glance at Lu Zhao. He was not offended by my aunt's words. Instead, he fell into a faint contemplation. I spoke more firmly. "Father specifically told me to see General Lu out properly and not be rude. Aunt, please go back first." "But?" My aunt looked at Lu Zhao, unwilling to give up as she tried to press a silk handkerchief into his hand. The weather is hot. General Lu is sweating. This handkerchief was embroidered by Zhao Zhao herself. Take it to wipe your sweat. I could not bear it any longer, and was about to call for someone to take my aunt away. Unexpectedly, Lu Zhao reached out and took the handkerchief, even thanking her. Then thank you for your kindness, madam. Lu Zhao had already tucked the handkerchief into his bosom. There was nothing I could do to take it back. I said sulkily. It is hot. General Lu should leave quickly if you cannot stand it. Second Miss Ming is even more irritable. His eyes curved slightly, and for a moment he looked like a young man who had just come of age. Zhao Zhao is a lovely name. The way he spoke my name sent a sudden warmth to my cheeks. My aunt was grinning from ear to ear. Not only is her name lovely, so is she. Being pulled back and forth between the two of them, as if I were not a person but an object, the warmth faded away easily. My face turned cold. Then Aunt may see General Lu out. I have matters to attend to, so I will take my leave. Smile. Smile. You did not smile like that when you saw Ming Jiahua. Why are you grinning at Aunt now? What a dangerous, fox-like man. Ming Jiahua's wedding came after Du Yahui's Noristolans. After the grand celebrations of the crown prince's marriage, the emperor reprimanded him for extravagance. Thus, Ming Jiahua could only be escorted into the Eastern Palace in a small sedan chair. Deprived of the luxurious wedding she had imagined, Ming Jiahua cried at home for days. But the emperor had spoken, and she could not change it. Once she entered the Eastern Palace, the atmosphere in the Ming residence relaxed suddenly. Xiao Dai came in from outside the residence, holding the usual gold and banknotes, and reported quietly. Miss, I have paid off the storyteller and the boys spreading rumors. No one will find out. I turned a page of my book and did not care. What if they do? I only had people spread stories of the crown prince and my elder sister's undying love. It is not slander. Why should I fear? But these stories circulating around the Du family naturally made Du Yahui furious, leading to the troubles that followed. There was no need to tell Xiao Dai this. She had always been timid. With Ming Jiahua married, Lu Zhao also cut off contact with the Ming family. After a few days of excitement, my aunt fell into a deep melancholy when Lu Zhao never visited again. I advised her that men were ultimately unreliable, quietly hinting that I had some silver, and trying to persuade her to go to a manor with me later. But Madam is arranging a marriage for you recently. My aunt hesitated. I hear it is a relative of her Zheng family, who has come sincerely to propose. He is a fifth-rank official. I felt truly helpless, but I had to say, do you really believe the marriage she has arranged for me? She only says he is a fifth-rank official. What about his age? His character? His family? In-laws? And parents? You pay no heed to any of this. I will not marry. Before she finalizes the marriage, I will definitely leave. I looked at my aunt, filled with disappointment. If Aunt truly refuses to come, then stay in the residence. Reborn in this life, I only wanted to protect those I cared about and keep myself safe in this chaotic world. If my aunt truly refused, I would leave alone. My aunt had no choice but to soothe me. Jiao Jiao, do not worry. I will speak to Madam properly. There was nothing left to say. I had already found out everything. The fifth-rank official my aunt spoke of was a distant branch of the Zheng family, who had bought his official title with a huge sum of money. He was not much younger than my father, had buried 2 wives, and had countless concubines and maids in his residence, many of them innocent women he had abducted. I flicked my sleeve and left. I would rather die than marry such a man. But Zheng Yanran had clearly been provoked by Ming Pei's idea of switching brides. She would never allow me to have the marriage contract with Lu Zhao. A few days later, I heard that Ming Pei had agreed to my marriage to this Master Zheng. I was to marry him as his second wife in 3 days. I looked at the pill in my hand and made up my mind. It was a medicine bought from the black market. After taking it, I would break out in rashes all over and fall gravely ill, but I would recover after a month or 2 of rest. Taking it would let me feign illness and go to the manor, then find a chance to escape. I was about to swallow the pill when I heard Xiao Dai knocking on the door. Miss, Aunt wants to see you. Are you in?" My aunt poured me a cup of tea eagerly. "Zhao Zhao," mother has inquired. "Apart from being a bit older, Master Zheng is quite good. His parents are gone, so you will not have to serve in-laws. He has many women in the backyard, but you will be the main wife. Those sluts will never overstep you." The teacup burned my hand, and I felt a chill in my heart. Even after all this, my aunt still wanted me to marry him. I drank the tea and prepared to leave. If aunt only wishes to say this, I will go back. Wait. Seeing me drink the tea, my aunt's eyes lit up. "Mother is doing this for your own good. When you marry, you will be an official's wife. Bear a legitimate son soon, and you will have a future to look forward to." I suddenly felt my limbs go weak, my vision growing blurry. "Aunt, what have you done?" "Mother knows you have always been strong-willed." Madam spoke to me, and I think she is right. A woman's life is all about marrying a good family. She rambled on, and my strength drained away even faster. "Master Zheng V gave Mother all the silver. I saved it for you. When you are married, you will see Mother was right. Zhao Zhao, Mother would never harm you." I could no longer hold on and fell into a coma. The effects of the drug left me restless even in my sleep. The manhwa banquet in my dream was not over yet. A maid beside Ming Yue came to find me, saying my elder sister had something to tell me. I followed her to Songfeng courtyard. Before I could do anything, Yu Chu dragged me inside. The man's hands clamped around my wrists like iron chains. I struggled and screamed, and people arrived moments later. But the onlookers just stood by, their whispers making my whole body tremble. Ming Yue said to others with a sob, "Ming Yue is my sister. Even if she has done this, I will forgive her." Yu Chu recovered from the drug's effects and kicked me hard to the side, accusing me of setting a trap with a venomous heart. No one listened to my explanations. No one stood by me. Even when I was to be sent to the Eastern Palace as a bargaining chip, my aunt only held my hand and pressed a packet of aphrodisiac into my palm. She said in a sticky, disgusting tone, "Zhao Zhao, listen to Mother. Men fall for this. Endure a little more. This is just how a woman's life is. No. Endurance only makes one a lamb for the slaughter, to be trampled on, used, and discarded like a plaything. Just like on the city tower, when Yu Chu hung me up, all I wished for was a dagger in my hand to taste if his blood was cold before I died. How I hated it. I had been given a second life, so why could I still not escape this cage? Hatred blazed like fire. I frowned and struggled free from the nightmare. After an unknown amount of time, I suddenly opened my eyes. Someone was pushing open the door, humming a vulgar, lewd tune. "The fifth master will be a groom tonight." I pressed the mechanism on my bracelet, and a thin blade over an inch long slid out silently. If I could not escape, this time I would take someone down with me. When Master Zheng V approached, I smelled a strong stench of alcohol. I relaxed slightly. A drunk man was easier to handle than a sober one. I closed my eyes, keeping my breathing steady. 3 steps, 2 steps. The man stopped and began to undress. His wheezing breaths were as disgusting as a pig's. Sweat beaded in my palms, but my heartbeat grew calmer. The blade was short. I had to aim perfectly. Moments later, the man groped onto the bed. His hands slid up from my waist to my cheek. Then he leaned down to kiss me. I opened my eyes abruptly. "Now." I stabbed the thin blade fiercely into his neck. Blood gushed out at once, and his heavy body pressed down on me. A muffled gurgling sound came from his throat. So even such a disgusting man had warm blood. Blood splattered all over me, almost blinding me. Suddenly, a faint sound came from outside the door. I tensed up immediately. Who's there? I had killed Master Zheng V, and I knew I could not escape the residence alone. But I would not surrender either. Someone pushed the door open silently. I gripped the blade on my bracelet tightly and pointed it at the dark figure. "Do not come any closer." The visitor frowned and whispered, "You killed him?" I had heard this voice only a few times, but I recognized it at once. It was Lu Zhao. Why was he here in night clothes? Thoughts raced through my mind. I did not want to die. I wanted to live. Yes. I trembled and lowered the blade, straightening my back as I sat in the pool of blood and looked at him. I know it is you, Lu Zhao. Lu Zhao's voice held surprise. You recognized me. Do not move. The shadow froze mid-step. In the darkness, his outline gradually came into view. Countless thoughts swept through my mind like a bitter wind. The snow that fell when the city fell in the 24th year of Changhe seemed to drift down at this moment. I spoke softly. General Lu, let us make a deal. Lu Zhao could not help but laugh. What deal does second Miss Ming want to make at a time like this? General Lu might as well hear my bargaining chips first. My voice was surprisingly calm, and my heartbeat slowed along with it. The Lu army discovered an iron mine in the western mountains of Kushan last month. You have kept it hidden and not reported it to the court. Tan Shi, the Salt Transport Commissioner, is your man. Old General Lu has a troop in Kushan that is not registered with the court. You call them the Sun-Shooting Army. My voice was gentle, yet I spoke secrets that no young lady in a boudoir should have known. Lu Zhao stepped closer slowly. How do you know such confidential information? His killing intent grew heavier, but I grew calmer. I know many secrets. I also know many things about the future. I ask for little, only a safe place to live in this world, free from being used and hurt by others. I also want those who once harmed me to get the retribution they deserve. Before me stood Lu Zhao, the leader of the rebels in my previous life. I had been hung on the city tower in front of him to be used as a threat, and he had not cared at all. Yet I could only make a deal with him. I was not sure if he would keep his promise, or if his renowned good reputation was just a facade. But in this world, everyone had their own principles. And Lu Zhao would be the winner in the future. That was my principle. Lu Zhao said nothing. The moon shining through the screen window slowly moved eastward, revealing his jade-like jawline. If you wish to see my bargaining chips, wait 7 days. 7 days from now, a sudden flood will strike Jinzhou in the south of the Yangtze River, and His Majesty will send you there. But if you do not believe me, I suddenly reached out, grabbed his collar, and pulled him close. The proximity made our breaths intertwine. I placed his hand on my neck, letting his rough palm feel my pulse. I leaned close to his ear. Then you can kill me now. I finally understood completely. In this world, to live with dignity, it was not enough to protect only myself. One had to fight, kill, seize, and gamble with one's life. I no longer wanted to hide. If Lu Zhao did not kill me, I would conspire with him to seize the world. I do not know how much time passed. I heard Lu Zhao speak softly, half amused, half sighing. Then let me see. If second Miss Ming is truly like a immortal, able to foretell all affairs. I had survived. All my strength drained away in an instant. The drug I had resisted surged up, and a warm embrace caught me. I fell into a deep sleep almost at once. Before I drifted off, I only heard Lu Zhao click his tongue softly. Saying all that and not moving to another spot, sitting in blood and not minding the mess. I do not know how long I slept. The voices around me grew louder. I listened carefully. Young master, you are not lying to me, are you? This young lady was covered in blood when you brought her back. You did not abduct her from somewhere, did you? In a daze, I opened my eyes. Through the green gauze curtain, I saw Lu Zhao's back. He wore black clothes, standing with his hands behind his back by the window, rubbing his temples helplessly. Aunt May, do you take me for such a man? The middle-aged woman could not help but laugh. It is just that you have never been close to any young lady. Bringing a girl back like this is strange to me. She's awake. My thoughts cleared slowly. I found that my clothes had been changed into clean ones. Only the unwashed strands of my hair still carried the scent of blood. The gauze curtain was pulled aside, and the figure of a gentle-faced woman came into clear view. She helped me up. Miss, do not be afraid. Drink some water first. I drank the water following her guidance, my parched throat feeling better. I looked at Lu Zhao, General Lu. Lu Zhao gestured for Aunt May to leave first. If second Miss is awake, Tell me what happened last night. Lu Zhao did not sit. He stood by the bed and looked down at me. I held the warm teacup and chose my words carefully. Everything I said last night was true. I am sincere in wanting to cooperate with you, General. Since you did not kill me, you must be willing to see if my bargaining chips are worth it. I looked up and smiled. We can discuss the details in 7 days. Lu Zhao stared at me closely, the corner of his mouth curving slightly. Very well. What does Second Miss need me to do? I breathed a silent sigh of relief. First, I need you to clean up the matter of Master Zheng V from yesterday. As for the person who sent me to the Zheng residence, I will handle it myself. I squeezed the teacup tightly, collected myself, and continued. Second, I need to use your reputation. Before I leave the Ming residence, please pretend to be fond of me, so that Madame Ming dares not lay a hand on me again. Lu Zhao listened with interest, twisting a token he had pulled from somewhere in his hand, agreed. What else? Lastly, I will do everything I can to provide you with the information I know to aid your great cause. I only ask that you behead the crown prince after you succeed. The small token flipping in his hand stopped. Lu Zhao looked up, his cold gaze sending a shiver down my spine. The crown prince? Has he wronged you? I could not explain, only meeting his gaze. General, you need only say whether you agree. Lu Zhao's gaze lingered on me for a long time, the atmosphere growing tense. Just as I thought he would refuse outright, he suddenly smiled and tossed the token to me. Master Zheng V's body has already been disposed of. I will send you back to the residence today and propose marriage to Master Ming. Take this token. If you encounter trouble, come to me at any time. If I am not there, this token is as good as me, and someone will help you. His words surprised me more and more. I never expected he would go this far, but he had not given an answer on the most important matter. Lu Zhao looked at me and suddenly reached out to ruffle my hair. Frowning like that, you look older than Aunt May. I cannot agree to that last matter for now. Aunt May should have boiled water. Rest for a while, and I will send you back once you are ready. He turned to leave. I subconsciously reached out and grabbed his sleeve. Why will you not agree? I do not need you to. A sharp pain cut me off. The famous young general of the capital flicked my forehead lightly. I covered my head and forgot what I had meant to say. He bent down close to my ear. The hot breath unique to a young man made my ear tips burn. He laughed in exasperation. What on earth are you thinking, Ming Yue? I do not know where you got this misunderstanding. But rebelling is such a thankless task. I would never do it. When Lu Zhao sent me back to the residence, we entered through the main gate. I walked into the main hall under Zheng Yanran's horrified gaze. Ming Pei hurried over from his study and asked in confusion, General Lu, what is the meaning of this? I have thought it over. The old friendship between our two families should not be broken in my generation. Lu Zhao glanced at me, pretending to be deeply affectionate. Besides, Second Miss is gentle, kind, and clever. I think the idea of switching brides to fulfill the engagement that Uncle mentioned is not unacceptable. Gentle and kind as in threatening people, or clever as in stabbing someone covered in blood? I kept my eyes down, pretending to be shy. Ming Pei was overjoyed, clapping Lu Zhao on the shoulder and repeatedly calling him nephew. With the engagement settled, the rest was no longer my concern. As I stood up to leave the main hall, Zheng Yanran could not help but say, Yoer, wait. Mother. I turned back, my eyes calm and unwavering. Qinghuai nodded earnestly. Yes. It tastes terrible. I smiled brightly. What are you saying, Mother? I am an unmarried young lady. How could I stay out all night? Last night, I was in my room the entire time. My smile seemed to frighten Zheng Yanran. Her embroidered fan fell to the ground with a dull thud, making Ming Pei look over. She had no choice but to bend down and pick it up, forcing a calm expression. Of course. Go back quickly. Aunt should be waiting for you in the courtyard. I walked out for a while, then turned back and reminded Zheng Yanran with a sweet smile. Mother, on the way back with General Lu, we heard a wandering Taoist telling fortunes by the road. so I had my fortune read. Guess what it said? Before she could reply, I shook my head regretfully. The Taoist said my fate is thin, and my relatives may face disaster. Mother, you must be careful. Zheng Yanran trembled slightly, whether from anger or fear. But I felt immensely relieved and happy. No one had ever told me being a villain felt so good. When I returned to the small courtyard, my aunt was looking at a new hairpin in the mirror, beaming with joy. She grinned widely. Xiao Dai, come look at my new phoenix-tailed pearl hairpin. Isn't it lovely? I approached silently and replied softly. It is beautiful. It just does not suit Aunt. My aunt jumped in fright. When she saw me, her features softened into a sickly sweet smile. Oh, Jiao Jiao, you scared mother. Why did you come back today? Did Master Zheng V come back with you? What did you just say? I said the hairpin does not suit you. Aunt has a black heart. She ought to wear a black jade hairpin. What should I carve on it? I walked behind her and pulled the hairpin from her head. A sparrow that cannot fly up to the branch would be perfect. My aunt's face changed instantly. She turned and glared at me. How dare you speak to mother like that? If not for me, how could you marry someone like Master Zheng V? If not for mother. I pressed the sharp tip of the hairpin against her neck, feeling her body go stiff at once, and smiled faintly. The words I finally spoke were as light as smoke. Master Zheng V might not be dead after all. My aunt's body froze. Her voice trembled. Jiao Jiao, what are you talking about? Mother heard me clearly, did she not? I wonder if mother's blood will spray out any differently from Master Zheng V's. I suddenly raised the hairpin and stabbed down hard. The moment the sharp tip touched her soft skin, my aunt screamed and fainted. I threw the slightly blood-stained hairpin on the ground and stuffed the pill I had originally intended for myself into my aunt's mouth. Finally, I looked at the limp body on the ground and said disappointedly, Aunt's courage is not half as great as mine. I called for Xiao Dai, and had someone inform Ming Pei that my aunt had contracted a contagious disease and needed to be isolated for treatment. Lu Zhao happened to still be there, and we cooperated seamlessly. In less than an hour, my aunt was sent to a carriage bound for the manor. He whispered to me, I have arranged for people at the manor. Whenever you want her back, take my token to fetch her. I said nothing. The medicine would not kill her, but it would make her seriously ill and weak for half a year, and she would need a long time to recover after that. By then, I might already be in the south of the Yangtze River, never to return. I collected my thoughts and looked up at the darkening sky. General, you have helped me a great deal today. I wish you a smooth relief effort in Jinzhou. In my previous life, he had also been ordered to go to Jinzhou in the south of the Yangtze to relieve the flood, returning more than a month later. The trip had been safe, and he had received new rewards upon his return. Nothing I needed to warn him about. Lu Zhao stared at me. I touched my face subconsciously. Why are you staring at me, General? Jiao Jiao. He called my name. Since we are engaged, calling me General is too formal. A chill ran down my spine. Since I was a child, no one but my aunt had called me Jiao Jiao, and even she only did so when no one else was around. Having Lu Zhao call me that made me extremely uncomfortable. I mumbled in reply. What should I call you then? I have the courtesy name Yangguang, given to me by my father. It means my path ahead shall be bright and unobstructed. You may call me Yangguang. His name suited him well, bright, and dazzling like sunlight itself. When I could not bring myself to say it after a long while, he did not press me. Instead, he asked, why is your childhood nickname only ever used by your aunt? My elder sister's nickname is Jiao Jiao. When we were young, she heard father call me Jiao Jiao and cried, refusing to share the same sound. After that, father forbade anyone else from calling me Jiao Jiao. Speaking of my childhood, the memories felt distant and hazy, as if they belonged to someone else. A hand suddenly brushed mine gently, warm, soft, and gone in an instant. Lu Zhao tapped the back of my hand lightly. It does not matter. I will call you Jiao Jiao from now on. Such a lovely name suits you perfectly. The dark clouds that had gathered all day finally released rain. A single drop hit my cheek, chasing away the sudden warmth in my chest. I suppressed the skipped beat in my heart and said calmly, "The weather is turning bad. General, you should head back soon." He raised an eyebrow, swung himself onto his horse, free-spirited and proud. The young general raised his whip and laughed. "When I return, remember to call me Yangguang." Just as I remembered, Lu Zhao was dispatched to Jiangnan Jinzhou by the emperor 6 days later. Before he left, he came to the Ming residence once more to see me and brought a maid with him. Her name is Qinghuai. She is highly skilled in martial arts. While I am away from the capital, let her stay by your side. Qinghuai bowed silently. "I am at your service, miss." I was touched by Lu Zhao's thoughtfulness and casually handed him a small sachet I had sewn in my free time. "Go on now. Stay safe." After Lu Zhao left, Zheng Yanran seemed eager to make trouble for me again. But she could no longer arrange a marriage for me, so she could only hinder me in trivial matters. I had not wanted to deal with her so early, but her constant pestering left me no choice. Qinghuai returned from outside the residence and reported, "Miss, I have found out. The Zheng branch family has confronted Zheng Yanran, questioning her about Master Zheng V's disappearance." I lowered my eyelashes and smiled faintly. Zheng Yanran is already struggling to keep her head above water. Let us add fuel to the fire. Qinghuai thought for a moment. Fuel? Should I kill Master Zheng V's son and leave his body in Zheng Yanran's chamber? Her tone was as calm as if she were asking if I wanted extra green onions in my dish. Xiao Dai's fan nearly slipped from her hand. She hesitated for a moment and whispered, "Would that not bring trouble for you, miss?" Xiao Dai was just like me in my previous life, always wanting to avoid trouble, thinking everything would pass if she endured. But in this world, trouble could not be escaped by hiding. Those who feared trouble were ordinary people, and ordinary people were always the first to die in this chaotic era. I pressed my lips together, held back a laugh, and stopped her. "There is no need. Leak a little information to the Zheng family, saying the valuables missing from Master Zheng V's home have appeared in Zheng Yanran's possession. Wealth could stir men's hearts. The Zheng family would not let this go easily. Zheng Yanran did not dare ask Ming Pei to handle this for her. In the end, she would only turn to Ming Zhaohua, using Yu Chu's influence to suppress the matter. That suited my plans perfectly. I tapped the handle of my fan lightly with my finger and asked, "What of the other matter?" "I have purchased a batch of radix asparagi as you ordered, miss." Radix asparagi was cold in nature, sweet and slightly bitter in taste, used to treat yin deficiency fever and cough with blood. The flood in Jinzhou was only the beginning. After half a month of non-stop rain, countless refugees would pour into the area near the capital. After that, a plague, neither too severe nor too mild, would break out in the capital. Even ordinary radix asparagi would double in price by then. It was considered mild because few people died in the month-long plague. But it was severe, because the seventh prince whom the Lu family supported had died in that very plague in my previous life. Lu Zhao had told me before leaving that he had no intention of engaging in such a thankless task as rebellion. I could not be sure if he was telling the truth. Yet this was indeed a possibility I had never considered. I thought long and hard over the past few days, digging up news I had heard in the Eastern Palace in my previous life from my memory. If Lu Zhao had not yet planned to rise up in rebellion at this point, then the death of the seventh prince would be the first spark. In truth, the seventh prince enjoyed an excellent reputation among the common people. Even when I was in the Eastern Palace, I often heard Yu Chu cursing him violently. So if the seventh prince remained vigilant and survived this plague, would Yu Chu not be even more overwhelmed? I made up my mind, and had Qinghuai send a message to Lu Zhao as I intended. In the days that followed, members of Master Zheng V's family pressured Zheng Yanran one after another, threatening to sue her at the Yamen if she did not return the property she had embezzled. After Zheng Yanran refused to see them, they even blocked the back gate of the Ming residence. In the end, when Zheng Yanran was exhausted and feared she could no longer cover it up, she secretly sent someone to fetch Ming Zhaohua. The next day, Qinghuai came to inform me that 2 of Master Zheng V's sons had been imprisoned. and the rest of his followers had been beaten with boards by the yamen and driven away. I mused. Did Yuchu interfere? But based on my understanding of Yuchu, he should not have known. Otherwise, he would not have used such crude methods to suppress the Zheng family by force. Sure enough, Qinghuai confirmed my guess. No. The secondary consort used the crown prince's token to summon men from the capital Yamen. Perfect. Take the remaining members of the Zheng family to a safe place. My features relaxed into a smile. When the time is right, they will be needed to beat the drums and cry out their grievances. After resolving the trouble with the Zheng family, Zheng Yanran naturally turned her gaze back to me. As I stepped through the residence gate that day, the nanny beside Zheng Yanran blocked my path. Nanny Li squinted, sized me up and down, and let out a snort from her nose. Second miss, come with this old slave. Xiao Dai stepped cautiously in front of me. What business do you have, Nanny Li? In the next moment, a sharp and triumphant voice rang out. Has second miss forgotten what she has done? Hurry along. Madam is waiting for you in the front hall. I pressed Xiao Dai's arm down, lifted my skirt slightly, and walked toward the front hall. I was no longer a delicate flower in a pot. Even if a storm struck suddenly, what was there to fear? Unfilial daughter, kneel before me. As soon as I entered the front hall, a teacup smashed at my feet, and the splashing tea soaked the hem of my skirt. My expression did not change. I lifted my eyes and asked, "Why is father so angry? Where have you put all the propriety and integrity your mother taught you?" Ming Pei was so enraged he was about to smash another teacup, but Zheng Yanran gently stopped him. Master, do not be angry. Yue is just a young lady. Even if she has made a mistake, we, as her parents, ought to give her a chance to correct it. A hint of triumph lingered at her brow. She sounded like she was pleading, but only stoked the anger further. Yue, quickly apologize to your father. I asked in confusion. I do not know where I have gone wrong. Is it because some relatives from the Zheng family came to the residence a few days ago, and I did not entertain them well? Zheng Yanran hastily cut me off. Sigh, I did not wish to speak of this in front of so many people. Yue, now that you are betrothed to General Lu, you must not involve yourself with men outside. Now that young Master Li has arrived at the gate with your intimate undergarment, if General Lu finds out, what will become of this? Master, it would be better to cancel the engagement with General Lu as soon as possible. That lest the Lu family fly into a rage and make the matter even harder to resolve. Ming Pei fell into thought. Zheng Yanran glanced toward the door, and Nanny Li nodded, looking arrogant, as if she would bring forward the evidence if I dared to argue further. I sneered inwardly. She truly was Ming Zhaohua's own mother, both fond of such underhanded tricks. They always tried to force others into submission by ruining their reputations. But if I cared nothing for these worldly vain titles, and refused to play by her rules, what could she do? I slowly walked over and sat opposite Zheng Yanran, brushing dust off my clothes. Since mother has said so, it seems I cannot refute it. Zheng Yanran's face lit up. In that case, but father, are you going to convict me based solely on the one-sided words of an outsider? Ming Pei's anger did not subside. If you had respected yourself and remained chaste, why would anyone slander your innocence? Master, something is wrong. The steward ran in gasping for breath, beads of sweat rolling down his forehead. Ming Pei snapped impatiently. Quit your shouting. Report later. The sweat on the steward's forehead poured down even more. I cannot, master. There is a man at the main gate, holding an undergarment. Telling the guards. He has come for the second miss? Zheng Yanran could not hide her joy and cut in. The steward hesitated, then simply closed his eyes. No, the man says he has come for you, madam. I picked up my teacup. The clear clink lifted my spirits. I asked in feigned confusion, why not invite him in at once? Father, it seems your wife is about to take a new husband. Ming Pei's face turned ashen, and he spun toward Zheng Yanran. Zheng Yanran trembled with rage. What a rogue and scoundrel, fabricating such lies to extort money. Master, You must not believe him. The steward looked troubled. But there is more than one. No sooner had he spoken than another servant ran over, his eyes filled with terror. Something is wrong, master and madam. Many people have arrived at the gate. Old and young, strong and sturdy, even pale-faced scholars. All holding different undergarments, demanding an explanation from us. Zheng Yanran nearly fainted. A third servant arrived. Master. There is a 70-year-old man at the gate, trembling as he holds an undergarment, saying, he found it too shameful to speak. Ming Pei roared. What use is your mouth? Speak. The servant shut his eyes and shouted, he says he spent a night of passion with you, master, and now he wants no money, only to rekindle your romance. I sat there watching the farce unfold, gently skimming the foam from my tea with the lid and taking a small sip. It seems my wanton nature is innate. Father and mother have set quite the example for me. Earlier, my elder sister was caught with the crown prince at the Changhua banquet. Now countless romantic debts block the gate of the Ming residence. I smiled faintly. Our Ming family has rotten roots. No wonder the younger generation has gone astray. Am I not right, father? Ming Pei staggered, his teeth gritted as he glared at Zheng Yanran. Look at what you have done. Zheng Yanran burst into tears. Master. See reason. Someone must be behind this. I took up her words. Indeed. Someone does not wish for us to marry into the Lu family. So they resorted to such tricks. I know nothing of court affairs. But I wonder who bears a grudge against the Lu family, or the Ming family. However, mother, you hastily convicted someone without investigating. Are you not playing right into the hands of these treacherous villains? Ming Pei's eyes flickered, as if he had thought of something. He trembled and pointed at Zheng Yanran, scolding. As the mistress of this house, is this how you manage the household? Zheng Yanran cried loudly. Hand over the household authority to the second branch for now. You reflect on your actions. Ming Pei stormed off in a huff. Zheng Yanran stood up abruptly and glared at me. I never thought you little slut had the means to. Bang. My expression turned cold. I slammed the teacup in my hand at her feet, shattering the porcelain and sending shards flying. Zheng Yanran looked up in shock. Mother would do well to speak and act less. Otherwise, this time you only lose household authority. Next time, I walked slowly closer, leaned close to her ear, and whispered softly. It might well be the confiscation of your family's property and the extermination of your clan, costing you your own life in vain. I turned and left, ignoring the shouts and commotion coming from the hall behind me. So the pain and schemes I had endured in the Eastern Palace in my previous life could one day become my means of self-protection. Those days were finally behind me. I was no longer the little secondary consort chained and kneeling in the courtyard night after night. What had hurt me but failed to kill me would only become my nourishment, strengthening me to withstand the storms ahead. I stopped Xiao Dai from holding an umbrella for me. As I lifted my eyes, the clear sky came into view. The rain had stopped. Zheng Yanran was confined to the residence and could only write letters to Ming Zhaohua to cry her grievances. Ming Zhaohua wished to return to the residence to visit, but was stopped by Ming Pei. I supposed Ming Pei had taken to heart what I had said earlier about someone opposing my marriage to Lu Zhao. Before my wedding to Lu Zhao, he did not want any more trouble. The continuous rain of more than a month finally stopped. I supposed Lu Zhao, who had been ordered to relieve the disaster, would soon return to the capital. After the rain stopped, more pedestrians filled the streets. It was already dark when I left Huayan Tower. So I simply took Qinghuai and Xiaodi to Bixiao Pavilion for a meal. We had not reserved a table at Bixiao Pavilion, and only the last table on the second floor was available when we arrived. At my insistence, Xiao Dai and Qinghuai sat with me, chattering as they looked at the menu. Of course, it was Xiao Dai who chattered. Qinghuai nodded or shook her head in silence. Qinghuai stretched out her hand and pointed to a dish on the menu. This. I looked over at her voice. Golden Wind and Jade Dew Delicacy? Do you want this? We'll order it. Qinghuai hesitated for a moment. All right. Then she added, the general can make it. Oh, I asked with interest. Your general can cook too? Xiao Dai rested her chin in her hands and daydreamed. Then when Miss marries the general, you can ask him to make it for you. Zheng Yanran squeezed her embroidered fan tightly. Yesterday, were you with General Lu? The smile that had just appeared vanished at the sight of the person who had just appeared on the stairs. Ming Yue wore a married woman's hairstyle, adorned with jade hairpins and jewels. Her taste even worse than when she had lived in the Ming residence. She pretended to smile in surprise. Yue, it really is you. I watched Yu Chu and Ming Zhaohua, dressed in plain clothes, approach, my expression calm. Greetings to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, the secondary consort. Yu Chu seemed to remember me as the one who had called him a beast at the Chunghua banquet, and began to pick on me. You know I am the Crown Prince. Why do you not bow? Your Highness and the secondary consort are traveling in plain clothes to hide your identities, are you not? I showed no fear, instead retorting with a sneer. If you are dissatisfied, you may display your Crown Prince's retinue, and all the people will kneel before you. After all, Ming Zhaohua had been married into the Eastern Palace for some time, and seemed to be living well. I supposed she had whispered plenty of sweet nothings in his ear. So I no longer bothered to keep a low profile. Ming Zhaohua leaned weakly on Yu Chu's arm. Your Highness, do not be angry. My younger sister has always had a temper. It is nothing. After being choked by me, a hint of interest appeared in Yu Chu's eyes instead. She is Jiao Jiao's sister, so naturally I will not be angry. Today I am traveling in plain clothes with the secondary consort, only to experience the lives of common people. There is no need for formalities. Insane. There are no more seats at Bixiao Pavilion. Yer, would you give ours to us? Ming Zhaohua's apology was fake, triumph written all over her face. What bad luck. I forced a smile. Then the Crown Prince and secondary consort may take it. This common woman will not disturb you further. Stay away from me. Before my expression could turn completely cold, Yu Chu stopped Ming Zhaohua. No need. We may sit with second Miss Ming. Are you mad? What bad luck. Stay away from me. But on second thought, I smiled instead and sat down peacefully. Qinghuai, Xiao Di, go ask the shopkeeper to serve the most special dish. I ordered. The signature dish of Bixiao Pavilion was lamb prepared 3 ways. It was made without the slightest mutton odor. And the dish's name and appearance had nothing to do with lamb at all. Most importantly, Yu Chu could not eat any lamb at all. If he touched it, he would break out in rashes all over his body within an hour, itching unbearably, and even gasping for breath in severe cases. In my previous life, Yu Chu had also come to Bixiao Pavilion in plain clothes, not noticing that the signature dish was lamb. He fell ill after returning, and even threatened to throw the shopkeeper into prison. Unfortunately, Bixiao Pavilion was backed by a certain prince. Cao Yu Chu could do nothing but end up humiliated. In the end, he simply took his anger out on me. I pulled my thoughts back, looked at the dishes the shopkeeper brought over, and immediately thought the trip out had been well worth it. I hear second Miss Ming is also betrothed? Yu Chu paid no mind to the food, nor even to Ming Zhaohua. Ming Zhaohua quickly responded, Yes, Your Highness. Taste this. She rolled up her sleeves, scooped a bowl of lamb soup with her fair hand. It tastes good. Yu Chu tried to bring the conversation back to me again, but Ming Zhaohua cut him off. I remember before I left the residence, General Lu intended to cancel our family's engagement. Why then? She pretended to have misspoken and covered her mouth. Oh, I did not mean you had a secret affair with General Lu before marriage, forcing him to marry you. Oh, my tongue is so clumsy. Your Highness. Ming Zhaohua looked at Yu Chu, on the verge of tears. You would not dislike Huar for being clumsy, would you? Disgusting. I asked in feigned surprise. Your Highness and elder sister were deeply in love even before marriage. How could you dislike elder sister? Ming Zhaohua was choked speechless, her teeth gritted. Yue has become quite sharp-tongued lately. Yu Chu glanced at Ming Zhaohua and followed her words. We cannot let the two sisters grow apart. Second Miss may visit your elder sister in the Eastern Palace more often if you have free time. Ming Zhaohua's face twisted with anger, her rage nearly drowning me. Although I felt delighted seeing Ming Zhaohua upset, Yu Chu's intentions disgusted me. Just as I was thinking of how to stay away from Yu Chu, I suddenly heard steady footsteps coming from the stairs, familiar enough to bring a sense of peace. The first thing I saw was Lu Zhao's high ponytail, the silver crown and hairpin at its center glinting coldly. My heart settled at once. I called out to him in surprise. Yangguang, you're back. Perfect. I had just been wishing for a handy tool to annoy Yu Chu. Lu Zhao had returned at just the right time. The faint smile on Yu Chu's face turned cold in an instant. Lu Zhao walked over slowly and bowed his hands. Greetings to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince. General Lu. Ming Zhaohua called out in surprise first. But Lu Zhao's gaze never fell on her. General Lu, you have been relieved of the disaster duty and look travel-worn. I suppose you have just returned to the capital? Have you reported to His Majesty first? Yu Chu smiled falsely, his words implicitly carrying a tone of accusation. Lu Zhao nodded and sat beside me. Naturally, I reported to His Majesty first. His Majesty, pitying my hard journey, granted me permission to return to the residence to rest. He looked at me and said softly, but my wedding with Jiao Jiao is approaching. So I could not help but come to find her. At these words, the expressions of both Yu Chu and Ming Zhaohua turned extremely ugly. Yu Chu forced a smile. Then congratulations to you both in advance. Before he finished speaking, he subconsciously scratched the back of his neck, and when he pulled his hand away, there were traces of blood. Ming Zhaohua exclaimed in alarm. Your Highness, your face. Rashes spread upward from Yu Chu's neck, covering his cheeks in no time. He seemed to itch terribly, scratching until his skin broke and bleed, his eyes turning red and tearing up, and he even began to gasp for breath. Ming Zhaohua glared at me. You poisoned the food. Elder sister, do not slander me. The Crown Prince's condition looks more like he has eaten something incompatible. I frowned in feigned concern. The top priority is to send him back to the Eastern Palace and find an imperial physician to treat him. You ordered the dishes on purpose. The Crown Prince has a noble body. How would I know what he is allergic to? Elder sister, you do not seem worried about the Crown Prince at all. Yet you keep fixating on this. Yu Chu stood up, pushed Ming Zhaohua away who tried to help him, and swept the dishes off the table with his sleeve. A loud clatter followed, most of the dishes crashing onto Ming Zhaohua. She froze in place, covered in sticky food, utterly embarrassed. Yu Chu looked at Ming Zhaohua, his eyes dark and fierce. Get over here. Do I have to invite you? Yes. Yes. Ming Zhaohua did not dare speak, only following behind him, no longer paying any mind to me. After Yu Chu and Ming Zhaohua left, Lu Zhao lowered the hand that had been protecting me. What a shame about such a good table of food. It is nothing. I had Qing Huai and Xiao Di order another serving. We will eat at home. I was in high spirits and did not notice the thoughtfulness in Lu Zhao's gaze as he looked at me. He asked, You seem to know in advance what the Crown Prince is allergic to. Having come to regard Lu Zhao as an ally, and his men having truly helped me a great deal over the past month, I could be more honest with him. Yes. Besides, Bixiao Pavilion is owned by Prince Huai, so this will not affect anyone else. A smile spread in Lu Zhao's eyes. Good. If I cannot make it in time next time, you can protect yourself. I can rest easy. I looked up in surprise. Had he heard the news and come specially to help me out? It was then that I noticed the dark circles under Lu Zhao's eyes and faint weariness between his brows, thought filling me with a touch of gratitude and guilt. General Lu, please return to the residence to rest. You have worked hard this past month. He shook his head helplessly, the corners of his lips lifting as if patiently correcting a young student. You're wrong. It's Yangguang, not General Lu. I could say it without hesitation to provoke the Crown Prince and Ming Zhaohua. But with Lu Zhao staring at me like this, I felt too embarrassed to say it. In the end, I could only push him away in embarrassment. Telling Qinghuai to send the food to the Lu residence, and walked home with Xiao Dai. The next day, Lu Zhao was well rested and arrived at the Ming residence full of energy. By the time I reached the main hall, he had just finished talking with Ming Pei. Ming Pei grinned from ear to ear. Then the wedding date will be set for the 15th day of next month. It is an auspicious day. Lu Zhao nodded. My younger sister is on her way to the capital. My father cannot come personally as he is garrisoned in Kushan. So my younger sister will bring the betrothal documents and gifts. When he saw me appear, Ming Pei hurriedly told me to accompany Lu Zhao for a walk in the garden. I had matters to discuss with Lu Zhao anyway, so I complied readily. General Lu, this way please. Once in the garden, the servants had been instructed in advance to stay away, making it more convenient for us to talk. I got straight to the point. General Lu, when you returned from Jinzhou this time, did you see any refugees infected with the plague? Lu Zhao did not reply for a long time. I turned back in confusion and saw him raise an eyebrow. I understood his meaning at once. I pressed my lips together and stood my ground. In the end, Lu Zhao softened his tone first. I won't tease you anymore. Indeed, there were. We must remain vigilant. I plucked a chrysanthemum and gestured to him. First the flood, then the plague, layer upon layer. But the real killing intent lies here. I plucked off the petals one by one, revealing the soft stamen in the center. After all, in sickness, there is no difference between high and low status. Whether one is a royal relative or a peddler once infected. I pinched off the stamen, its juice staining my fingertips. Like a flower, they fall just like that. Lu Zhao fell into thought. You mean the 7th prince? I nodded. The Jinzhou flood has receded, but a large number of refugees will pour into the capital region, causing a small plague. It is not a deadly plague. With enough medicine, no one will die. The 7th prince holds a high position and is attended by imperial physicians. Logically, he should not come to harm. I left it at that. For an adult prince to die of such a plague, there must be a conspiracy behind it. But this was not my concern. Lu Zhao was no fool. He would naturally pay attention after my reminder. After speaking, I handed him the key to the storehouse. Lu Zhao. This is. I had Qinghuai stock up on a batch of radix asparagi in advance. Take as much as you need. When the refugees arrive, I will set up porridge sheds on the outskirts of the capital, and hire physicians to provide free treatment. Lu Zhao followed along tacitly. I will send men to protect you then. When the time is right, we will make the prescription public in your name. I felt delighted. My thanks. I will also spread General Lu's good name far and wide then. When one does good deeds, they ought to publicize them grandly. Otherwise, it would be a waste. The tall, straight man before me suddenly smiled. Sunlight outlined his face, his black hair swaying gently in the wind. The corners of his lips lifting slightly. His faint smile was like the last glow of late autumn. No wonder Ming Zhaohua had wavered between the crown prince and Lu Zhao. He thanked me in a low voice. Then Lu thanks Zhao Zhao for her generosity. My heart skipped a beat. I could only let my gaze drift past his brows to the distant sky. No need to thank me. We each get what we need. Have you heard? The second miss of the Ming family is setting up porridge sheds on the outskirts today. What a kind woman. I was worried about what would happen when all these Jinzhou refugees flood into the capital. Yes, and second Miss Ming is General Lu's fiancée. With soldiers guarding outside, we need not fear a refugee riot. I sat in the carriage flipping through account books, listening to Xiao Dai relay the people's words. And also, I passed Madame's room in the residence today, and I think I heard her smashing things in anger. Xiao Dai shrank her neck. I hope Madame remains confined before Miss gets married. That was unlikely. I still needed Zheng Yanran to help me with something. Sure enough, Ming Pei was overjoyed at my porridge sheds and free clinics. gaining a wave of good reputation for nothing. His mood was so good that, within a few days, he lifted Zheng Yanran's confinement during dinner. Yue is doing a good deed. As her mother, you ought to help her. Ming Pei stroked his beard, thought of Ming Zhaohua, and snorted coldly. You have raised Zhaohua to be far too naive. A few days ago, she went out with the crown prince in plain clothes, and even caused the crown prince to break out in a sudden rash, falling seriously ill. Zheng Yanran swallowed her resentment, curtsying weakly. Yes, I have already sent a nanny to teach Zhaohua a lesson. Ming Pei frowned again. Let others handle the porridge and free clinics. Do not go yourself, lest you bring the disease back to the residence and infect others. I hear the 7th prince has been unwell lately, seemingly infected with the plague too. I gently set down my chopsticks. The physicians in the free clinic say they have found a way to treat the plague. If a prescription is developed, father can present it to the imperial hospital to help the 7th prince. That will surely be a great merit. Zheng Yanran fell into thought at once. I pretended not to notice and continued. It should be within these 3 to 5 days. Father, just wait for my news. From the corner of my eye, I saw Zheng Yanran squeeze her embroidered handkerchief, hiding a smile. I sneered inwardly. So foolish, taking the bait at the slightest lure. How had I, in my previous life, submitted to such a person in hopes of living in peace? I pretended to be reluctant and refused several times. The people Zheng Yanran tried to place beside me. She stopped insisting and instead secretly targeted Qinghuai. After all, Qinghuai seemed quiet and had only been in the residence a short time, making her easier to lure than Xiao Dai. Madame Zheng sent someone to bribe me with gold again today. Qinghuai sounded exasperated. I smiled softly. Keep it. Qinghuai said, oh, and continued. I told her I was not allowed near when you discussed things with the physicians, only catching a few vague medicinal herbs. She stopped asking after that. She is not a complete fool. Besides you, she will surely pry the exact medicinal formula from the physicians I hired. I tapped my fingers lightly on the table. It will happen within these 2 days. 2 days later, I had the free clinic physicians announce that they had developed a special prescription for the plague, and all infected refugees could collect medicine at the porridge sheds. A woman holding a child knelt to thank Lu Zhao and me after collecting her medicine. I only had someone help her up and did not stop her. Both Lu Zhao and I needed such a reputation. On the 3rd day, an imperial envoy condescended to the simple shed to deliver an edict. By order of the emperor, Ming Yue, 2nd daughter of Minister Ming, along with the free clinic physicians, Fang Chen, Sun Shuwen, and Sen Lang, shall enter the palace for an audience. This is the imperial edict. I knelt to receive the edict, hiding a smile under the envoy's pitying gaze. As we entered the palace gate, the crown prince's chariot passed by me. The leading eunuch had me step aside to make way. Yu Chu sat restlessly in the chariot. Beside him, Ming Zhaohua sobbed and tried to hold his arm, only to be shaken off. After walking a few steps, Lu Zhao's voice suddenly came from behind. How amusing. The leading young eunuch tactfully walked ahead quickly, leaving space for Lu Zhao and me. I lifted my eyes to look at him and asked calmly, what is General Lu talking about? Your elder sister and the crown prince. They say the crown prince is deeply devoted to your elder sister, but it does not seem so now. Hearing Lu Zhao mention Ming Zhaohua, I suddenly felt annoyed. Perhaps all men are like that. They do not cherish what they have. Only the flowers they cannot pluck are the most beautiful. That is not true. I am not like that. Lu Zhao scratched the back of my hand lightly, the touch tickling. His voice was equally soft and tickling. Why not look at me? If I have something, I will cherish it dearly and never abandon it. Truly, even when his army was at the city gates in my previous life, he could tell at a glance that the woman on the city wall was not his wife. Even when I fell, the glimpse I caught showed he had mistaken me for someone else. Yet his heart had shattered, his eyes blazing with rage. The angrier I thought about it, the more I huffed, ignoring Lu Zhao and walking faster. Lu Zhao was confused. Why are you angry? Lu Zhao did not accompany me into the hall. But the hall was already crowded. Not only were Yu Chu and Ming Zhaohua there, but Ming Pei and Zheng Yanren as well. A hoarse and weak voice came from the dragon throne. You are the second daughter of the Ming family? This emperor had been weak and frail since ascending the throne. Later, he had become obsessed with alchemy and cultivating immortality. In recent years, he had rarely attended court sessions, leaving most affairs to the cabinet. According to the course of events in my previous life, this emperor would pass away not long after Lu Zhao rose to power. Yu Chu would be overwhelmed and defeated before he could even ascend the throne. I collected my thoughts and performed a flawless curtsy. Your subject's daughter Ming Yue pays her respects to your majesty. Rise. The servants in the 7th prince's residence say the prescription was given by the crown prince. The first dose was brewed early this morning, but his condition worsened after drinking it. The emperor gasped for breath before continuing. According to the crown prince, I have summoned all of you. Speak. Yu Chu glanced at Zheng Yanren. Father, the prescription I presented was sent by the secondary consort on Madame Ming's behalf. I only worried for the 7th prince's illness. I did not verify the prescription thoroughly. Zheng Yanren suddenly knelt to the ground and began to cry out her innocence. Your Majesty, see reason. My prescription came from Ming Yue. Now the 7th prince is on his deathbed. If anyone harbors evil intentions, it is Ming Yue alone. I looked back in shock. Mother. I staggered back a step. But this plague prescription was only confirmed viable by the physicians today, and made public. When did Mother present it to the crown prince? As soon as I finished speaking, all eyes in the hall fell on me. Now that the stage was set, it was my turn to take the stage. Tears glistened in my eyes. I know Mother dislikes my betrothal to General Lu, always thinking I have stolen elder sister's marriage. But elder sister has already married the crown prince. Why must you frame me with such a method? Not to mention endangering the 7th prince's life. Every word I spoke revolved around the marriage, but everyone in the hall understood clearly that I was pinning the poisonous prescription on Zheng Yanren, Ming Zhaohua, and even the crown prince. Zheng Yanren wished to pounce and tear me apart. You are spouting nonsense. Father. I looked at Ming Pei, then toward the dragon throne. Your Majesty, the top priority is to have the physicians I brought examine the 7th prince. Although the imperial physician's skills are unparalleled, these 3 physicians have treated plague patients in the capital suburbs for half a month, and should have some experience. The emperor lifted his eyes. Go. Perhaps because his own health was poor, he showed little emotion at his own son's critical condition. An eunuch led the 3 physicians away. I resolved to add the final spark to the fire. There is one more thing, Your Majesty. I do not know if I should speak. Speak. Yes. I knelt and said. When I entered the palace, I caught a glimpse of a Taoist priest. The emperor let out an interested, "Oh." I bowed deeply, completely ignoring the sharp gaze Yu Chu suddenly cast upon me. I have seen this Taoist priest before. When I was young in Suzhou, this evil Taoist deceived the people, refining evil pills. Many of his followers lost all their wealth. What's more, countless died from taking the pills or burning themselves alive. Yu Chu seemed to sense something, his voice anxious and cold. Do you dare swear to this? Every word I speak is true. I am willing to stake my life on it. I beg your Majesty to see reason. The emperor looked at the young eunuch who had led me into the palace, his tone displeased. Who did she see when she arrived? The young eunuch trembled, knelt to the ground with a thud. Your Majesty. What second Miss Ming saw was the Taoist master Xuanzhen, whom the crown prince brought into the palace 2 months ago. The hall fell silent. The emperor looked at Yu Chu, his expression unreadable. The crown prince recommended him? Yu Chu could no longer maintain his composure, kneeling like me, but kowtowing even more forcefully. I did not know. Of course he did not know. 2 months ago, he was still tangled in the affairs of Ming Zhaohao and Du Yaohui. with no mind to distinguish truth from falsehood. Someone had merely heard rumors that Xuanzhen was a highly skilled Taoist. Yet so he had hastily found him and sent him into the palace to curry favor with the emperor. He naturally had no idea where the rumors came from or who Xuanzhen really was. The nail I had planted 2 months ago worked at this moment, filling me with joy. If your majesty does not believe me, you may send men to Sizhou to find old witnesses. They will recognize him at once. The emperor summoned Lu Zhao into the hall. Yang Guang, I order you to investigate Taoist Xuanzhen's background within 5 days, and report back immediately. Lu Zhao bowed to accept the order, and in an instant, our eyes met. I lowered my eyes, feeling no guilt at having given him another task. Lu Zhao's expression was calm and steady, even carrying a hint of helpless amusement, as if he could handle anything that happened. The emperor took one last look at Yu Chu and left. Yu Chu collapsed to the ground. Ming Yue trembled and went to help him, only to be slapped away. Yu Chu struggled to stand on his own, walked up to Ming Pei and Zheng Yanran, and sneered. What fine daughters you have raised. Zheng Yanran fell to the ground, lost in despair. Ming Pei knew he had thoroughly offended the crown prince, only able to bow stiffly, unable to say another word. Yu Chu tried to say something to me, but Lu Zhao stepped in front of me. Whatever His Royal Highness the Crown Prince wishes to say it to me. Yu Chu stormed off in a huff. I had no desire to argue with the Ming family any longer. I tugged at Lu Zhao's sleeve. Come here. I have something to tell you. After leaving the hall, Lu Zhao led me outside. You brought this up suddenly. It was rather bold. He frowned slightly. I know you have a plan, but tell me first next time so I can prepare. I nodded. I understand. I will not involve you. It is not about involving me. You, never mind. Lu Zhao sighed. What is it you wish to tell me? I pretended not to understand his meaning, and said calmly. In Dongwu Town, Sizhou, the county magistrate was once the secretary who exposed Xuanzhen's scam. He will lead you to the witnesses. Lu Zhao curled his lips. I know. You know? Lu Zhao adjusted the collar of my cloak, blocking the last wisp of wind that slipped in. I know many things. Zhao, trust me. All right. I will go to Sizhou this time and return in 5 days. Stay safe. Go out less, lest the crown prince trouble you. I looked into his eyes for a long time, seeing only clear pupils that reflected my face, and relented. All right. I will wait for you to come back. I bit my lip and said, Be careful on the road, Yang Guang. When I returned to the residence, the main courtyard was in an uproar. Xiao Dai eavesdropped for a while, and came back excitedly to tell me that Ming Pei intended to divorce his wife. I never thought the arrogant madam would come to such an end. Xiao Dai shuddered. Master is truly heartless. Naturally, Zheng Yanran had implicated the crown prince. If Ming Pei still wished to curry favor with the crown prince, he had to show his stance. But fortunately, it has not implicated Miss. Xiao Dai sighed in relief. Spoke too soon. I ran into Zheng Yanran moving her luggage as I went out in the evening. At the sight of me, Zheng Yanran's face twisted, her chest heaving violently, clearly enraged. She gritted her teeth and tried to rush at me to fight, but was stopped by the residence guards. Madam Zheng, the master has ordered me to escort you away personally. She looked at me, her voice vicious and bitter. Ming Yue, a vicious woman like you will come to no good end. You stole my daughter's marriage. You will get your retribution sooner or later. I stopped and turned back to look at her, my tone calm. If vicious people faced retribution, Mother would have suffered it 18 times over by now. Yet in this world, it was the vicious who survived. This was the lesson I had learned with my life in my previous life. I turned and left, letting my last words float lightly behind me. It seems heaven has no eyes after all. Qinghuai later reported to me that Ming Zhaohua had rented a courtyard and settled Zheng Yanran in the eastern city temporarily. I said nothing, only ordering her to keep a close eye on Zheng Yanran's movements. Lu Zhao returned even earlier than expected. On the morning of the 5th day, I received news from Qinghai. At the morning court today, the general reported the investigation in Xizhou. His Majesty flew into a rage, ordered Xuanzhen imprisoned, and reprimanded the crown prince in open court. The general and the 7th prince also had the censor impeach the Du family over this. The crown prince has had his wings clipped. Qinghai spoke vaguely, but I understood perfectly. At this juncture, it could only be that the Du family's past embezzlement of military pay had been exposed. In my previous life, after the 7th prince's death, his faction had lain low, and the crown prince had easily suppressed the matter. But this time, the Du family could not get away cleanly, dragging the crown prince down with them. I was in high spirits and motioned for Qinghai to continue. Qinghai looked at me. "That is all. Only 2 sentences?" Qinghai said calmly. The general was going to say more, but was stopped by his guards, who said he was clumsy, and should save 7 parts of it to tell Miss in person. Imagining Lu Zhao hesitantly swallowing his words, I could not help but laugh. But I was truly curious about the details. So I told Xiao Dai to bring the newly made milk pastries from the kitchen and headed to the general's residence. My next plan, the wedding. Lu Zhao said matter-of-factly, leaving me stunned. He looked at me nervously. "Lu Kan has brought the betrothal gifts and is arriving in the capital soon. You are not going to back out of the marriage, are you?" I fell silent. I had truly never thought about this. When I first agreed to the betrothal, I had planned to delay it for half a year. By then, I would have avenged myself and left the capital. He would rise up in rebellion, and the marriage would be null and void. But everything had unfolded completely differently from what I had imagined. We were actually about to get married? Lu Zhao's eyes drooped in disappointment. "Zhao Zhao does not wish to marry me?" "That is not it. Marrying him was indeed the easiest way for me to leave the Ming residence. Besides, after spending time with Lu Zhao these days, I had realized he was not at all what I had first thought. He was not a cold, ruthless man craving power. On the contrary." Lu Zhao's dim eyes lit up again. "Since Zhao Zhao does not dislike me, then let us get married, all right? I do not mean to bind you. The Ming residents treated you poorly. Come to me instead. If one day—" He gritted his teeth. "If one day you think you would be better off with someone else, I will not stop you." I looked at the man before me and said nothing. I did not know why he had fully embarked on the path of rebellion in my previous life. Nor did I know if he had truly loved Ming Zhaohua. But his sincere confession at this moment stirred my heart. Melting a corner of the high wall I had built since waking up, I said softly, "All right." Half a month later, Lu Zhao's sister Lu Kan arrived in the capital with a mighty caravan. The next day, Lu Zhao brought the betrothal gifts to the Ming residence. The aunt of the Ming family's second branch, who was now in charge, took me to see the dowry. Now that Zheng Yanran had been divorced, she held full control of the Ming household, and treated me very politely, saying she would prepare a full dowry for me. Naturally, I did not hold back, marking down all the fine items. The 6 wedding rituals were completed quickly, and soon it was only a few days before the wedding. It was then that I finally met Lu Kan. The 17-year-old girl was only a few months younger than me. Bright and cheerful just like her name. She called out at once, "Sister-in-law." I felt as if I had been wrapped in a ball of fire, nearly forgetting what to say. I am not yet married to your brother. There is no need to." "Then may I call you Zhao Zhao?" Lu Kan grabbed my hand and shook it affectionately. "Apart from my silly brother, I also want to be friends with a beauty like Zhao Zhao." I sighed helplessly. Why were the Lu siblings both so unguarded? I looked cold on the outside, but in truth, I could not stand such people acting coquettishly. So I could only nod. On the day of the wedding, as the matchmaker combed my hair, Lu Kan sat beside me chattering away to keep me company. "Zhao Zhao, my mother passed away early, and my brother has been at war for years, never interacting with other young ladies. If he does not know how to make you happy, you can scold him. Zhao Zhao, if you ever have the chance, you can visit Kuzhou. There are merchants from the western regions there. with many trinkets not found in the capital. Zhao Zhao, my brother, has finally gotten what he wanted. Having been busy in the residence all day, Lu Can leaned on the table and fell asleep mid-sentence. By the hour of the monkey, the sound of gongs and drums grew louder. And someone shouted, "The groom has come to fetch the bride," as they approached my chamber. My heart suddenly raced. Lu Can woke with a start, watching as the women placed the red veil over my head. All I could see was red, unable to make out the path ahead or the people around me. I was led stumbling outside, then to the main hall, turning countless corners, unaware of who surrounded me. At a certain moment, someone suddenly took my hand. He whispered, "Zhao Zhao, do not be afraid, I will walk with you." I lowered my eyes, suddenly feeling a hint of anticipation for the new world I was about to enter. "Zhao Zhao, wake up." I opened my eyes to a gentle shake. "I did not wish to wake you, but a message has just come from the palace." Lu Zhao frowned and spoke softly. The county magistrate of Qi County in the capital suburbs was killed by local mountain bandits. The bandits hung his head on the county gate for display. When the news reached the capital, His Majesty flew into a rage and ordered me to lead troops to suppress the bandits at once. He whispered, "On our wedding day, I should not leave like this." "It is all right. Imperial orders cannot be disobeyed. Hurry and go." My eyes cleared. Everything in the capital will be handled by me. I will take good care of Akan. I knew that according to the course of events in my previous life, Lu Zhao would go to suppress the bandits just like this, and would not come to harm. Yet an inexplicable emotion made me reach out and tug at Lu Zhao's sleeve as he turned to leave, hesitating. "Stay safe." "Nan." "All right, you too." He froze for a moment, then broke into a bright smile. "Ming Zhao, wait for me to come back." Lu Zhao assembled his troops and left overnight. Afraid I would be in low spirits, Lu Can brought her quilt to stay with me the next day. "Sister-in-law, if you can't sleep, I'll tell you some embarrassing stories about my brother." Lu Can rambled on about many things, including how Lu Zhao had tried to ride a horse like old General Lu when he was little, only to be kicked off by a donkey. The injury had worried the whole family terribly. When my brother woke up, he said he couldn't see anything, which scared father half to death. Fortunately, we later heard there was a famous doctor in Suzhou. Father sent my brother there for treatment, and he recovered in just half a year. I turned to her in a daze. "Suzhou." Yes, it was the 11th year of Changhe. My brother was 11, and I was only 8. I was also 8 years old that year. Suddenly, things deep in my memory surged up violently. My voice turned hoarse. "Did your brother have a childhood nickname, Axwan? You know, sister-in-law?" Lu Can looked surprised. "Mother gave him that name, but she passed away early. Few people in the family called him that later, so not many know." It matched. I closed my eyes. It was him all along. My aunt was from Suzhou. At that time, Ming Pei was assigned to Suzhou and took my aunt as his concubine, so I grew up in Suzhou as a child. When I was 8, a kind of Taoism became popular in Suzhou. Xuanzhen had attracted a large number of followers by pretending to be gods and ghosts. It started with just extorting money, but gradually grew more twisted, with followers kidnapping boys and girls for sacrifices. During the days I was captured, there was a young man named Axwan by my side who stayed with me the whole time. He was blind, but his ears were sharper than mine in the pitch-black cave. We plotted to escape, but were discovered at the last moment. I calmly pushed him out of the cave and turned to hold off the men chasing us. "You can't escape with me. You're older and stronger than me. You go first. I'll wait for you to bring people to save me." We both knew this was the best solution. He gritted his teeth and grabbed my sleeve. "I'll come back. I swear I'll come back for you. Ming Zhao, wait for me to come back." I lay there in a daze, while Lu Can beside me had already fallen fast asleep. So that was Lu Zhao. He did bring people back later, but before that, Ming Pei had already sent men to find me. Yet Ming Pei did not want to get into trouble with someone like Xuanzhen. He only negotiated to have me exchanged and brought me back to the capital. Later, I went back to Suzhou to look for him, but the address Axuan had mentioned was empty, with no one living there. I never imagined that the blind boy and I would have such a connection later on. So, had he recognized me? Because of that name, had he thought it was Ming Yue in my previous life? Was it Zhao Zhao he had been searching for? Or Zhao Zhao? The person who could answer my questions was not in front of me. I could only fall asleep reluctantly, my heart filled with complicated thoughts. I waited patiently for a few days, and finally received news of the bandit suppression. Lu Zhao's personal guard first led the main army to escort the bandit leaders back to the capital, and sent someone to inform me. Though the general has been injured, it is not a vital wound. He only needs to recuperate in Qi County for a few days. Madam, please do not worry. I was about to ask for more details when shouts suddenly came from outside. Madam, something's wrong. Miss has been taken. The young maid who had gone out with Lu Can that morning ran in crying. Miss took me shopping on the street, when suddenly men appeared out of nowhere, harassed her, and took her away by force. I told them Miss's identity, but the other party seems to be of very high status and doesn't care about the general at all. Madam, please save Miss. My heart jolted. Something had happened to both Lu Zhao and Lu Can, making me form a terrible suspicion. Jinj, send a secret message to the 7th prince immediately to inform him of this. Huanyan, take Aunt May and the maids and nannies in the mansion to inquire on the streets. Find out exactly who the kidnappers are, and report back at once. Shuafeng, the general's current injuries make him unfit to be moved. Do not send him any news for now. I looked at the messenger guard and promised. With me here, I will never let Lu Han come to harm. Shuafeng hesitated for a long time, then finally nodded heavily. Yes, madam. I waited anxiously for an hour, and finally, news arrived. We found out. The men who took Miss seemed to be from the Yang residence, and someone recognized there were guards from the Eastern Palace among them. The Yang residence, the dandy reputation of Yang Jing, the legitimate son of the Yang family, was known throughout the capital. The reason he had been arrogant and unruly all this time, with no one daring to discipline him, was that his aunt was the current empress, and his cousin was the crown prince Yu Chu. My heart sank heavily. I suddenly remembered something. In my previous life, after I had been flogged unconscious by Yu Chu, I had heard him talking to a man in his study. Thinking I was unconscious, he had spoken without holding back. Yu Chu had scolded Yang Jing in a low voice, telling him there was a limit to his nonsense, and that it would be hard to deal with if someone died. But Yang Jing had been indifferent, saying cheekily, "Never mind whether her brother is alive or dead right now. Besides, the 7th prince is dead. Even if her father were here, he wouldn't dare do anything." So in my previous life, Lu Can had died in this disaster. My heart pounded violently. What's more, this incident was likely the trigger for Lu Zhao's rebellion. I dug my fingernails into my palm to force myself to calm down. No matter what had happened in my previous life, Lu Zhao had left his sister in my care when he departed, and I had to keep her safe. Before long, Jinj returned from the 7th prince's residence, saying the 7th prince had already sent hidden guards to infiltrate the Yang residence to rescue her. I stayed up all night. At dawn, I finally saw Lu Can being sent back. Madam Lu, Miss Lu is unharmed, only drugged, and in need of rest. The 7th prince's subordinate reported. His Highness says that a young lady's reputation is important, so it should not be publicized. That is why we sent her back under cover of night. But if Madam and the General wish to take further action once Miss Lu wakes, His Highness has men ready, all at your command. I quickly sent for the mansion's physician. Only after confirming that Lu Can had no other issues besides being unconscious did I relax. Send a message to the General, explaining everything clearly, and tell him not to worry, I have everything under control here. After a moment's thought, I changed my mind. Forget it, I'll write the letter myself. I deliberated for a long time as I picked up my brush. Truly, this was an excellent opportunity. If the 7th prince and Lu Zhao applied pressure, Yu Chu and the Yang residents would surely suffer a heavy blow. But Lu Can was a young lady who had endured such a thing. If it were publicized, it would not bode well for her. In the end, I sighed and decided to let this opportunity pass. Just as I was about to put brush to paper, a hoarse female voice came from behind me. Lu Can, tired but resolute, held my brush steady. Sister-in-law, I want them to get the punishment they deserve. Have you made up your mind? I set down my brush. When you came to the capital, old General Lu specifically sent a message to your brother, telling him to choose a noble family for you in the capital. If this is made public, it may affect your prospects. Lu Can's eyes were bright. I'm not afraid. I'd rather go back to Kuozhou, or never marry at all. I can't swallow this anger, and I will never allow myself to be cowardly and let the villains get away with it. I looked at her for a long time, as if seeing a reflection of myself. I curled my lips into a smile and nodded. All right. Then we'll do it this way. The entire general's mansion began to operate meticulously under my command. Countless pieces of information flowed into the mansion, and new orders were sent to every corner. It was like a well-tuned crossbow, its string and mechanism drawn tight little by little. Its aim fixed squarely on the Crown Prince Yu Chu. On the morning 3 days later, when the breakfast stalls were busiest, the Dengwen drum at the very center of the imperial city was struck. Who dares to strike the Dengwen drum? This humble woman Lu Can accuses the current crown prince of conniving with Yang Jing, the legitimate son of the Yang family, to abduct young ladies and oppress the people at will. This commoner, Zheng Chun, accuses the current crown prince of violating the law and causing the death of my elder brother. I held Lu Can's hand and stood before the court, with a red sun just rising over the horizon behind us. The magistrate of Jingzhou was already sweating profusely. He knew those who struck the Dengwen drum had grievances, but he had not expected they would be accusing the reigning crown prince. I am Lu Can, the legitimate daughter of the current general of suppressing valor Lu Cheng. 3 days ago, Yang Jing took me to his residence with the crown prince's personal guards. If my sister-in-law had not sent men to rescue me, I would be dead by now. The magistrate had to set aside Lu Can's case for the moment and asked Zheng Chun. And you? My father was the prefect of Anzhou. He disappeared from home 2 months ago, and his whereabouts are still unknown. Most of the family's property is gone. My elder brother reported it to the authorities, only to be imprisoned and killed in jail. Zheng Kun kowtowed loudly. I was taken in by kind people, only to run into maids and guards from the crown prince's residence pawning my family's heirlooms a few days ago. I beg your honor to uphold justice. The magistrate was already at his wit's end. More and more commoners gathered outside the yamen, their murmurs forcing him to quietly order his men to invite someone from the Yang residence and the Eastern Palace. Before long, Yang Jing swaggered in arrogantly. Do you know the consequences of disturbing this young master? Zheng Hun exclaimed at a single glance. Your Honor, this young master Yang is wearing my family's century-old Buddhist bead bracelet. You lowly commoner, what nonsense are you talking about? These are consecrated beads given to me by my cousin the crown prince. Yang Jing glared and stepped forward to kick him. Bah! The wooden gavel slammed down. No commotion. If you wish to accuse others, present your witnesses and evidence separately. The magistrate looked around and could only proceed according to protocol. Zheng Kun and Lu Can stepped forward with their witnesses and evidence respectively. Servants of the Zheng family, maids from the crown prince's residence, a teacup Lu Can, had taken from the Yang residence, and most crucially, the crown prince's token. Lu Can spoke clearly, detailing word by word how the crown prince had assisted Yang Jing in abducting young ladies and oppressing the people. The existence of the crown prince's token confirmed the truth of everything. Young Master Yang, what have you to say for yourself? Yang Jing was a little stunned, but still refused to back down. I don't know what they're talking about. Some general's daughter? I don't know her. She seduced me on the street. That's why I took her back. Boltesnide. Lu Can's hand began to shake. I patted her hand gently to comfort her. It was my turn. I stepped forward. Young Master Yang, you're so stubborn and refuse to admit your guilt. Do you really think the crown prince will still come to save you? Stop sowing discord between us. Before Yang Jing could finish his sentence, someone suddenly walked in and reported to the magistrate. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince has asked me to pass a message to your honor. He has learned of the accusations today. Yang Jing has committed numerous unrighteous acts in the Crown Prince's name. Your honor may punish him according to the law. Yang Jing's eyes widened. You dare to forge an order? I circled behind Yang Jing and kicked him in the back of the knee. He cried out in pain and fell to his knees. Young Master Yang, if you're guilty, you must confess. When facing the wronged, remember to kneel first. The Crown Prince had made it clear he would abandon Yang Jing. The magistrate naturally followed the rules. With witnesses and evidence conclusive, he immediately had Yang Jing imprisoned. Zheng Chun's case could only be postponed for later trial. Leaving the Yamen, Lu Kan was still in a daze. Why would the Crown Prince? Shh, I lowered my voice. Let's go back first. Yu Chu had always indulged the Yang family. At least after the seventh prince died in my previous life, the Empress's faction had dominated, and he had naturally been able to protect them. But now the seventh prince was applying pressure in court, and there was fierce rivalry in the imperial harem. He was powerless to stop it. Coupled with Ming Yue whispering in his ear, Yu Chu had decided to let Yang Jing take the blame first, planning to find a way to free him later. The first step had gone smoothly. I told Qinghuai to inform Ming Yue. Well, you may tell my elder sister. She has done well, and General Lu is deeply grateful. He will repay her in the future. After a moment's thought, I added another line. Remember to speak ill of me. Say that the current Lady Lu is vulgar and unrefined, and that the general has long intended to divorce her. Qinghuai looked confused but obeyed and left. I had not expected Ming Yue to take the bait so easily, using Lu Zhao as bait. As I spoke, I walked into the general's mansion, and a helpless voice came from beside my ear. So you just sold me out like that? At least General Lu is worth a good price. Congratulations. I smiled and turned back. It seems your injuries are not too serious. You can still stand. Lu Zhao chuckled softly, leaning toward me as if he could not stand steady. I had no choice but to support him. Warm breath mixed with the scent of medicine filled my surroundings. He whispered, I have to stand even if I can't. I can't let you face all the storms alone. Lu Kan cleverly slipped away with Xiao Dai and the others. The courtyard was empty. I smiled helplessly. Sit down and talk. No, I have to go to the palace now. I looked worried. So soon? Yes. The bandits in Qi County talked under interrogation, and we found out something crucial. Lu Zhao lowered his voice to me. They have contacts in the capital. 70% of the plundered wealth is sent as tribute. I understood at once. It's the Yang family and the Crown Prince? Lu Zhao nodded silently and continued. Today is the perfect opportunity. I've already sent word to the seventh prince. With the Dengwen drum incident you arranged today, everything is ready, just waiting for the final push. I had no choice but to call Shuofeng to prepare a sedan chair and send Lu Zhao to the palace. Before he walked out, he suddenly turned back and pressed a kiss to my forehead. Suppressing the bandits in Qi County, I was hit by an arrow and fell unconscious for a while. In my daze, I had a strange dream, like Zhuangzhou dreaming of a butterfly. Jiao Jiao, wait for me to come back and tell you about it. I think I've been waiting for you for a long time, from my previous life to this one. Lu Zhao stayed in the palace for several days, with no news coming from him. It was not until 4 days later that news of both Lu Zhao and Yu Chu arrived at the same time. The Empress has committed suicide. The Crown Prince has been deposed and demoted to Prince of Chu. The general was poisoned in the palace and only woke up today. He should be back by noon. I stared in shock for a long time before reacting. Lu Zhao must have thrown himself into the danger himself to strike a fatal blow. By noon, Lu Zhao was carried back from the palace. He had lost a great deal of weight in just a few days, his face as pale as paper. He dismissed the servants and forced a smile. Jiao Jiao, the third condition you mentioned. Is it half fulfilled now? I froze for a moment. He was referring to the third condition of our deal after Master Zheng V died. I had asked him to behead the crown prince once he succeeded, and he had actually remembered. My nose suddenly stung. I turned my face to hide my reddening eyes, a hint of complaint in my voice. I never saw you hate him so much before, yet you risked your own life to gamble on this. I do hate him. How could I not? Lu Zhao's fingers brushed against my hand, as if confirming over and over that I was real. He looked at me. In Qi County, in that long dream between life and death, I saw you. I don't know what day it was. Snow was falling heavily, and you were on the city wall, falling like a bird with broken wings. I fought desperately to rush over and save you, but I couldn't catch you. I don't know if it was a dream, but the feathered arrow was shot by the fleeing crown prince, so I had to hold this grudge against him. I was struck dumb, frozen in place, unable to say a word. That had been the end of my previous life. So the feathered arrow that had come out of nowhere had been shot by the crown prince as he fled. Even at that moment, he had not forgotten to kill me. Afraid I would expose his and Ming Zhaohu's whereabouts, I let out a cold laugh. Good for you to remember. It should all be held against him. Lu Zhao gently pulled off his inner tunic, revealing the wound on his shoulder. This position seems to be the same as yours in the dream. If there really is reincarnation and karma, then let this count as me, taking this hit for you. From now on, Zhao Zhao, may you live a life of peace and health, year after year. I gently stroked the wound. It really was in the exact same position. My heart ached, yet I forced myself to stay strong. My hand pressed gently on the wound, and Lu Zhao gasped softly. I snorted coldly. There's still one thing you haven't explained clearly. Ouch. What is it? Akan told me you went to Suzhou for medical treatment when you were little. The smile on Lu Zhao's face faded, and he could not help complaining. Akan has such a big mouth. Jiao Jiao, I wanted to tell you this, but I thought it unnecessary. My affection for you is not just because we knew each other as children. In other words, if you were only the Jiao Jiao I knew as a child, I would help you, save you, and marry you. But I might not love you. But I love you because you are you. That's what I've been wanting to tell you between life and death. His nervous expression melted my heart completely. I gently placed my hand over his eyes, covering those clear eyes that made me feel unworthy. I whispered softly, but I might not love you, only like you at most. If you love me 10 parts, and I only return 1, that's hardly fair. He let my hand stay, not struggling, keeping his eyes covered but facing me. Every word was firm. Giving me the chance to stay by your side is the greatest fairness of all. Jiao Jiao, I am more than willing. Yu Chu was deposed, and the Yang family was ransacked. It seemed the crown prince's faction was on the verge of collapse. At this moment, Yu Chu rebelled. When I heard the news, I found it extremely ironic. In my previous life, Yu Chu had cursed Lu Zhao as a rebel on the city wall. Now that it was his turn, he was just a desperate rebel too. That night, torches blazed from outside the palace walls to the outskirts of the city. Just as the sounds of fighting were dying down, Lu Zhao suddenly took me out. We galloped on horseback to the palace gate. Yu Chu's face was stained with blood, and he knelt stumbling on the palace road, surrounded by a circle of armored soldiers. Yu Chu looked terrified, knowing he was defeated and beyond saving. He knelt there crying, "Father, your son was wrong. I know my mistake. I was lured by traitors. It was the Yang family, the Du family, the Ming family." I wanted to laugh. Even now, he still thought everyone else was to blame. Lu Zhao took my hand and placed it gently on the bowstring. "Hold it here." The cold iron pointed straight at Yu Chu's heart. Lu Zhao's voice was gentle but firm beside my ear. "Jiao Jiao, don't be afraid. Loose the bowstring and kill him with your own hands." I felt my heart pounding wildly, yet a voice seemed to cut through the blizzard to reach me. "The crown prince is fatuous. Today I fight for the people. Today, I would not claim to fight for the people. I only sought justice for Ming Yue of my previous life." Whoosh! A feathered arrow sliced through the air, striking Yu Chu straight in the heart. His wailing stopped abruptly. Lu Zhao wrapped me in his cloak and rode into the crowd. His voice was calm. The traitor has been executed. I felt incomparably relieved. At that moment, flurries of snow began to fall from the sky. The first snow of the year had arrived. As the rebel crown prince's secondary consort, Ming Yue, was arrested and thrown into the imperial prison the next day. She cried in prison, saying Lu Zhao was fond of her and demanding to see him. She shouted like this for 3 days, until she finally called for me. "You bitch! You're keeping the general from seeing me. He'll punish you severely when he finds out." Ming Yue looked ragged, as if she had been tortured. I smiled indifferently and called Lu Zhao over. "There, your general is right here. Lu Zhao, will you punish me?" Lu Zhao looked at her in disgust, then softened his tone toward me. "Punish you to watch me practice swordsmanship today, all right?" Ming Yue screamed, spouting a jumble of insults, claiming she was the crown princess, the empress, and that Yu Chu would kill me. Save your strength. I felt utterly tired of it. Ming Yue had always treated me or other women as her enemies. But in this world, the real reason she had ended up like this was her own greed and Yu Chu's depravity. I looked at her, no longer willing to waste my time hating someone. Zheng Yanren is still outside trying to bribe her way out. If you're lucky enough, you might still save your life and be exiled to the border. Yangguang, let's go. I held Lu Zhao's hand, turned my back on the light of the imperial prison, and left all the shadows behind. Later, someone in the capital proposed marriage to Lu Kan on Lu Zhao's behalf. When I went to ask Lu Kan what she thought for a moment and refused. That man only cares about my brother's power. I want to go back to Kuzhou. Lu Zhao and I saw Lu Kan off together. As we left the city, I suddenly heard a commotion beside me. Xiao Dai ran to watch the excitement and came back sighing. "It's Madame Zheng Yanren. She was stabbed and all her silver was stolen." After the crown prince's downfall, most of the Zheng family's property had been returned, except for some that Zheng Yanren had kept and not given back to Zheng Shen. But things that did not belong to one would never stay with them. Holding onto them forcefully would only bring disaster. Would Zheng Yanren die from this? Would Ming Yue die in prison? It no longer mattered to me. "Sister-in-law, the scenery ahead is so beautiful. Jiao Jiao, look at the rabbit I caught for you." Lu Zhao and Lu Kan's voices calling me reached my ears. I smiled and rode over to them. All the old memories were like smoke. From now on, I would only walk the road ahead, with the bright moon still shining. The end. Lu Zhao's extra story. Snow fell heavily in the dream, flurries stinging his face. Beyond 3 feet was nothing but endless white. Lu Zhao lunged forward, but the figure slipped through his arms and fell. He did not catch her. Blood spread across the ground, blooming like a flower on the snow. Lu Zhao thought dazedly. Wasn't the woman on the city wall Ming Yue? Why was it Ming Yue? Why would Yu Chu tie his own woman to the city wall to threaten him? "Axon, wait for you to bring people to save me." A calm, childish girl's voice rang in Lu Zhao's ears. Lu Zhao felt himself trembling. "Ming Yue, Zhao Zhao, wait a little longer. I'll be there soon. I'll save you. Just wait." Lu Zhao woke up to the scent of dragon saliva filling the room. The attending eunuch had already cleverly handed him a cup of warm tea. Lu Zhao took the teacup. "What time is it?" The dream had been so long that he could barely come to his senses. "Your Majesty, it's the 3rd quarter of the hour of the rabbit. It's not yet time for the morning court." Lu Zhao set the teacup back on the tray with a crisp sound and said nothing. He had not actually meant to ask that. And he had realized something. It was the 7th year of his reign. What of Yu Chu and Ming Yue? Lu Zhao put on his bright yellow imperial robe and asked Xiao Daisy casually. Xiao Daisy handed him a thick velvet cloak and draped it over him. "Your Majesty, the 2 criminal slaves are being punished in the punishment department this month. In the 7 years since capturing Yu Chu and Ming Yue, Lu Zhao had them rotate through the tortures of the 9 prisons every month. Even so, it could not ease even 1/10,000th of the hatred in his heart." Lu Zhao caught sight of a strand of white hair at his temple in the bronze mirror. He did not know if it was from injuries sustained in early battles, or the heavy state affairs over the years. He was only 30, yet he looked 10 years older. 10 years earlier, Lu Zhao had been a young man in his 20s, the most admired and glamorous jade-faced general in the capital. His father commanded troops guarding Kuzhou, and he had found his childhood savior in the capital. Though many years had passed, Ming Zhaohua's temperament was nothing like the Ming Zhaozhao he remembered. But he owed her a debt of gratitude, so he would not deny it. He married Ming Zhaohua, thinking that even if they did not live in perfect harmony, they would at least respect each other. But after the seventh prince died, everything spiraled downward rapidly. On their wedding night, he was sent to suppress bandits. He sustained minor injuries during the campaign, and the physician had advised him to rest for 2 days before returning. Only a 2-day delay. Just 2 days. When he returned, his sister Akan was dead. Lu Zhao could bear it no longer. He grabbed Ming Zhaohua by the neck and asked why she had not sent him a message. Ming Zhaohua's eyes were filled with tears as she cried that she had done it for his own good, that he could not afford to offend the Yang family and the crown prince. She even kept telling him to stop making a fuss, saying it was Lu Can's bad fate. He was completely disappointed. How could the brave and upright Zhao Zhao he had known become like this? Before he could settle Lu Can's affairs and divorce Ming Zhaohua, he heard that old General Lu had been assassinated on his way to the capital and died of poison before reaching the city. In an instant, he was all alone. Later, he fought for 2 years, fighting all the way back to the capital. It was only when he passed through Xizhou that he learned the truth. It had never been Jiao Jiao, but Jiao Jiao. At that time, he looked at the osmanthus tree in the empty courtyard, thinking heaven had left him a glimmer of hope. But on that snowy day when the city fell in the capital, all hope was completely destroyed. Ming Yue's body lay on the snow, with old scars on her arm that bore witness to years of suffering. She coughed up blood as she lay dying. Lu Zhao trembled and tried to wipe it away. The more he wiped, the more blood there was, until it stained the gaps of his arm guards red. That redness became a deep, bone-deep curse in his dreams ever since. Lu Zhao could not be bothered to go to the prison to see Yu Chu and Ming Zhaohua's miserable state. In the early years, he had gone to watch, seeking a trivial sense of relief. Later, he only found the two crawling toward him, begging for mercy, utterly disgusting. So he stopped going. Like copying Buddhist scriptures, he listened every day to what tortures they had endured, storing them up to tell his father, sister, and Ming Yue in the afterlife. During the morning court, Lu Zhao could not stop coughing for a moment, coughing up traces of blood. As if sensing something, he summoned a Taoist priest to ask about it. The Taoist priest was ethereal and compassionate. "Your Majesty has accumulated great merit in your previous life. Unfortunately, the excessive killing intent from your battles has worn most of it away. But the remaining merit will still ensure your Majesty a stable reign and a long life." He only spoke of a long life, not that he would be haunted by nightmares and lonely for 100 years. Lu Zhao seemed to sense something and asked the Taoist priest, "If I give up this merit, can I bestow it on another, in exchange for a smooth afterlife for my old friend?" The Taoist priest looked surprised. "Your Majesty would truly do this?" Lu Zhao nodded silently. He had never cared for the throne, nor for a long, lonely remaining life. He only wanted to catch that falling figure in his dreams. So Lu Zhao began building temples, enshrining memorial tablets for old General Lu and Lu Can. He could not publicly enshrine Ming Yue's tablet, so he carried it in his arms every day. In just 1 year, Lu Zhao's health deteriorated badly. But it did not matter. The court structure was now complete, and he had selected a suitable young man from the imperial clan as the crown prince. He could rest in peace. In his long dream, he caught that figure for the first time. The girl in his arms stared at him with wide eyes. "Axwan, you came to save me?" He could not help but smile. "Yes, I've come to take you away." Time flowed again. 20-year-old Lu Zhao felt a sharp pain in his wound. He opened his eyes. The nearly fatal wound was in a fated position. He felt as if he had had a dream. When he woke up, his newly wedded wife, his beloved, had sent him a letter. "Yang Wang, Akan is safe. I hope you are well too.